I keep Storm Shadow right next to me because, no, I'm actually a Storm Shadow fan.
Do you have one within, like, gripping distance?
Yes.
Yeah. Swear to God, I do have one. Like,
you sure about that?
I just cleared off my desk because of moving everything. I swear to God, there's one here.
He still can't find it.
Okay,
Rip
open
into it.
Rip into it! All right, guy, this is for you. Dario, because I love you.
Card art.
I have to, Augie. I'm sorry. It sucks. See how thin? Right here? There's a crease here. Walmart says, oh, collector's item? Here you go.
All right. Kick it.
Yeah!
Okay, Adam, what else did you get?
All right.
Yeah.
Oh!
How hilarious would it be if, like, just in the background, Ernie's room, like, all the carded figures go up and start. This is fine. This is fine.
There won't be
Amigos
no
every
problem.
Thursday night. Hey guys, what's up? It's the one and only Fallen Fett here to remind you to check out the Boba Squadron found on Toyn Around's YouTube channel. Join Kevin, Yoko, Paul, and myself as we break down the latest Star Wars episodes, news, and much, much more. And go to heroesvillains.com, use our code BOBA20, and receive 20% off your next order. Plus, it's stackable. Check it out. They have great merch, represent your favorite fandom, plus more. And don't forget to tune in to the Boba Squadron. Peace. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of the Fallen Fett Chronicles. It is episode 126, and tonight we have a very special show. Unfortunately, Yoko, Tommy, and Dario cannot be with us. Dario has a prior engagement, and Yoko and Tommy are in Japan, along with everybody else, it seems like, on my feed is in Japan. But we are not, and that's okay. We're all here chilling tonight. We're going to have a great show for you. We brought on some special friends tonight. We are going to get into something a little bit different tonight. We are just days away from WrestleMania. There's a lot going on. Lots of people have been wanting to do this, so we're going to try it out and go into some of the brand new wrestling news, check in on each other, go over what's going on for the week, and much, much more. Just like we do. It's Wednesday. How the heck are you? I'm not doing so well, but I am here. Pretty positive I have food poisoning, but I'm here. I'm okay. Slept earlier, woke up, got the show ready. Still feeling the effects of being, what was that? Cyber attacked, hacked, or whatever you call it. Had to totally reset the computer today, so I lost everything, literally everything. It was a brand new reset, like the computer was brand new. So thanks a lot, Charlie, for that. I definitely appreciate it. Yeah, it's been another week. Crazy. This week flew by so fast. Last week we had trivia. It was a great episode. go make sure you catch up on that. Learn some spring facts. Lots of stuff that I never knew there. Still need to look up the witch thing, but it was a lot of fun. Thank you to Tommy for that. And how was your guys' week? What was going on with y'all? Let's see. What did we do? Saturday, we were at Disney all day. And oh my goodness, we haven't done a early Disney day all the way till close in so long. We were wiped out on Sunday, literally with a Disney hangover the next day. It was that bad, but it was a lot of fun on Saturday. We did a lot of the, right now they have the food and wine going on. Lots of great treats and everything. Still, the Snickers macaroon is my favorite, and it was delicious. So the next visit, we will actually be doing more of the Star Wars stuff, which is the Season of the Force. We did end the night, though, with Hyperspace Mountain, which is always so fun and such a great time. That's the overlay of Star Wars in Space Mountain. And Star Wars Nights has actually even started. So there will be a lot of news coming out of Disney that way for all the Star Wars fans. We do have a celebration going on. I did start a new show with Riley, so I'll mention some of that. But let's go ahead and check in with our guests tonight and see how they're doing. What's up, chat? How are you? Did anybody make a story? Let them know. And we'll check in with you guys in just a moment. But first, I do want to bring onto the stage, joining me tonight, very happy to have this man here. Thank you so much for being with us. Chamba's in the house.
Yo.
What's up, sir?
Not much, man. Not much. I'm just sitting here working, thinking about the topic that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to be a good one. I can't believe how close it is. Sometimes I feel like the year kind of disappears between this event.
Yes.
Like it just goes by so quickly. Like, I felt like it just happened.
I swear.
And, you know what I mean? And we're at it again. So.
And it was like the buildup for WrestleMania always feels like, oh, it's too long. But just like you're saying, it's right here. And we're already getting into it.
Like 2 weeks, less than?
Yeah, less than. Less than.
That, yeah.
It's going to be just one more. And everything's like already started in Vegas.
Yeah.
Like they've already had little shows and little events, and they're getting ready. I believe next Tuesday will be the day of where everything starts going. It will be Raw and then like all WrestleMania for the rest of the week. So that's crazy. I was even telling Corinne, like, dude, do we drive up there just to go check it out?
Well, I mean, the beauty of it is like, because it's in Vegas this year, right?
Yes. Yeah.
You could pretty much, during that weekend, I reckon you can go to a few bars and they'll have it playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they'll have it in venues playing, you know what I mean? You just watch it that way.
This is going to be like their biggest store that they're going to have there too.
Oh, right,
so,
right.
I want to see that.
You just want to just do it for that?
Yeah, like I want to go and like, dude, they're doing like pre-parties, after parties. They're doing so many ceremonies.
Yeah.
So Corinne really, really wanted to go, and we were looking up tickets and stuff, and it's like outrageous for WrestleMania. Then we saw that there was tickets available for the Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay.
Introduction to that, and we're like, well, that can't be that expensive. No,
there was those go crazy as well.
Yeah. I'm like,
do you know what though? I think as far as like Mania and whatnot, the Raw after Mania is always great.
Yeah. Oh,
and
I think it's like one of the best, right?
Yeah. So
yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, if you can't make it to Mania itself, try and go for the Raw after Mania.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to be so hard to top that Netflix one. But
it is. But honestly,
right,
I think that first episode of the Netflix drop, it was supposed to be a big one, and it was because they made a big deal out of it. But I've enjoyed Raw so far. It's nice having, like, for me anyways, it's nice having access to it.
Yeah.
In Australia, because like it's just on net. Like I know for America right now, all the pay-per-views and stuff is still on Peacock, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I got everything on Netflix at this point, so it's great.
Oh wow, really?
And that's why they were saying it's like for international, it's the first Netflix, it's the first Mania on Netflix, so they have to make this one a big one.
Okay.
So
yeah, I got you. So we may top the original one. What's up? We have a very generous super chat from Alexander. Thank you very much. Hi, Ernie. Hi, Chamba. I do have another guest. And Alexander, it's the Federation, man. That's what we're going with here tonight. That's what we like to call everybody, especially when Yoko's not here. We don't have to worry. So it is the Federation tonight. But Yoko will be missed tonight. She's on her way to Japan. Tommy is already there. That's crazy. Yes. And who RMD's there? RMD's been there, I think, since like
because I think he was like a majority of the folks they're capping off their Japan trip with Star Wars Celebration.
Yes.
As opposed to like, I know a couple people, dude. This is actually wild because you mentioned, the few folks that are already in Japan right now. I know so many people going during this period, not just for Celebration though.
Yeah.
Because Osaka Comic-Con is happening as well.
Oh, for reals?
Yeah. And there's just, I've got mates here. They brought their kids there because it's their first time. And I'm like, and I just found out some workmates are going there too. I was like, what's going on? Like, because it's cherry blossom season too. It's spring. It's spring there, right? Yeah. So you get to see it. Yeah. So I'm like, dang, that would have been sick. It would have been sick to go. And I'm like, I could go still. I'm tempted.
I know. And I'd be like, why don't you?
It's because if I'm still planning on doing US for mid-year, hopefully things go decently considering what's going on right now. But if my plans are still that where I'm going to go, for Comic-Con and whatnot, I'd rather just use the money for that. Do you know what I mean? More money that I have for that is better, I suppose.
That's very true. It's the stupid priority thing, right?
Yeah.
It's
stupid. We say stupid priority. It's yeah, it's good. I mean, there's I plan on going back to Japan in December anyway for Tokyo Comic Con. Hopefully that goes through, but so it's not like I'm not going to go back. But yeah, I think it would have been neat to go this time of the year, maybe. Just see everyone else. Like Kevin's going as well, so it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's insane the amount of people that are going to be everywhere. Yeah. So yeah, it was the perfect timing to throw this show together. Have you guys on? I sent a ton of invites out there to everybody. So let's see who shows up. I did get a lot of, the next one. Sometimes their schedules don't jive with mine, but that's okay.
100%.
So thank you for being here. But we also do have another guest tonight. What would this episode be without this gentleman we're about to bring to the stage right now? It'd be kind of weird without it.
It'd be different, that's for sure.
Right? So let's give a big, warm welcome to the one and only, the wrestling hound himself.
Let's go!
What's up, brother? How are you?
What's up? I'm chilling. Supporting my boys. Let's go. Mania season this week. Or next week, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's already started. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, man, we needed your insight and everything to be here to make sure we don't say something wrong, of course, and get into everything. I've been into WWE since I was a kid, WWF and everything, and I grew up there. You leave it for some time, and then I was so happy that it came back into my life because it's basically my soap opera.
It is a soap opera.
Yeah, it's like the best novella on TV that there is ever. And it's so funny because watching as a kid, you're still in the same storylines. Like
that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's like, oh wait, this is still related to that thing from 15 years ago.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, WrestleMania's or last year's Mania referenced everything was like the Shield was like 12 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
That's the video of it.
Right?
Yeah, like none of the new people who started with who started watching wrestling like 2022 have no idea anything about that.
But the beauty of they could always backtrack. There's so many things now on YouTube where they can go, the history of Mania. Who is that? I'm gonna find out.
And I love this time that we're in because I feel that it is such a better time without McMahon because a lot of this we couldn't do. You couldn't mention that Shield stuff.
No,
you couldn't. Like, what? No, if somebody was gone, Moxley,
you can't mention.
That's what I'm. Yeah, and now it's like everybody knows exactly.
No.
You couldn't. They would blur them out. They would, it was different times. And now it's like, oh, show him on the screen. We know he's in AEW, but so what? He was here first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't erase his history
exactly
within the storyline that they're currently telling. He's an integral part of it.
So I love this time that we're in now that we can continue all these stories without any worry. Just like you're saying, Hound, of the past, bringing it to the present. It's so cool, and we have so much going on right now. I see you're with your CM Punk shirt.
Let's go, my boy.
Yeah, you're representing already. That story has gone wild. That took a turn as well. And I love when you see real stuff, because I felt last week's episode when Paul told him and they were doing the contract signing and everything, and he was like really crying. Like, I feel like that's real moments. Like, you can't hold back on stuff like that.
Yeah, like that has to be like something that like wasn't told to Punk backstage. Like that, like I feel like that was his real reaction to like like they like Triple H told Heyman like, hey, this is what we're gonna do, and Punk was just blindsided, I think.
Yeah. We are going to introduce the Federation real quick. What's up, Lago? Hey, I sent the link if you want to jump in, man.
Let's go, baby. It's tippy time.
Yeah, but Lago's right here, because then on the flip side of that, then you have a promo that went down with Charlotte Flair and Tiffy Time, and that was crazy.
I loved it. I don't care. I loved it.
That was crazy. One, that the crowd got to Charlotte. Two, that they went off script, and now it's actually even been deleted. So that's another thing too. That's wow.
It's fun, man. Wrestling's fun.
It is. When you play into people's personal life, though.
Yeah.
That's and I
love
when you get
risk.
the reaction.
It can be a risk, but then that's kind of like it's the thin line between the reality of real life and obviously the reality of wrestling, I suppose. So,
well, you know what the greatest thing is too, Chamba, is no matter how much you yourself being the star, being a part of it, and I'm talking about Charlotte and everybody trying to be like, oh, wow, maybe she shouldn't have did that, blah, blah, blah. Wrestling fans don't forget anything.
No,
and I swear
they'll
to God,
remind you.
It was 20 minutes later when Charlotte did the same thing when she started to somebody else and talked about their marriage. And I was like, oh, okay, well, what can you do? That was wild. But what's up, Lago? How's it going? So Federation, that's what we got going tonight. So please let us know your thoughts in the comments. We're going to go over some of the storylines, the matches, and whatnot. So drop your predictions, any input. We'll play off of you too and bring you into the chat. We'll check in to see who's all here tonight as well, but that's what we're rolling with. Hound, anything else before we start, or Chamba?
Let's cook. Yeet.
Yeah, dude.
All right, let's go. So, we want to check in the Federation real quick. We got Mark Roses here tonight. Tommy K. Evil Diva. Hi, hello. How are you? Are you home? I'm sure she's home. I think I heard you're home. Let's see. The number one moderator in the game. Thank you for being here tonight. Please make sure we are staying on track tonight. Thank you so much for being here. Winger Loses in the house. D. Sertle's also here. Bradley, what's up, Brad? How are you? Santo 1414. Plastic Bubble is here. Yes. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Lago already threw out a yeet for everybody. Less humans, more robots. Alexander was here, throwing up the first super chat for the night. Thank you very much. And we got Mike, Arizona Toy Hunters Guild.
Yo.
What's up, brother? How are you? We're going to do some wrestling talk. It was Mike and Diggs Figs who got me on to the snap bracelets found at Walmart.
So cool, man.
For the WWE belts. They have all different. And Evil Diva is a beast and picked the two rares. And we have a couple of other ones. So that's what we're rocking tonight. I got my Undertaker shirt on. Longtime favorite, of course. It was very sad when that streak broke.
Yeah.
I really didn't want to see that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of wish they kind of just kept it with him. Like it would have just been
I
great
did
to be
too.
like, yeah, he's every Mania, he'll never lose. That's basically that should be it. And it's like, it's also how he lost it. It was like,
I know.
worth it.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it at all. But you know, sometimes it don't work out, and sometimes we can just wish. It's like, oh my God! Now that there's been so much going on as well too, my favorites are the Hardy Boys.
Sure. Yeah.
And I saw them a couple of times on NXT, and I kept telling my honey, I was like, babe, just bring them back and let's fix the tag team situation. Let them do their thing. And Corinne was like, do you know how old they are now?
Yeah, they are.
So well.
No, they can, but my main problem with, like, say, I think one of the issues that I had with, say, AEW was they were supposed to cultivate new talent, but then they kept bringing in too many of, like, don't get me wrong, it's the whole, hey, you remember these guys from years ago, they still rock it. And it's like, yeah, but then you're taking away the opportunity. Like, if you're going to bring them in to push new guys, great. But you're bringing them in to bury new guys and then to give them titles. I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Like if the Hardys, if they were brought back to the WWE, like into the main full roster and stuff, of course, give them a couple wins, they'll have great matches regardless, but I'd want them to be there to also push a lot of the new talent, because there's a lot of new talent. There's a lot, you know.
And I feel in our current situation now, Hound, correct me if I'm wrong, or Chamba, but I do feel that's where we're lacking right now is the
new
tag
talent
team stuff. No, the tag team just.
I don't know. I think storylines. I think the storylines aren't the greatest, but the talent is there.
Yeah,
talent's there.
Machine Guns, DIY.
Yeah,
I mean, DIY was significantly better than whatever Triple H is doing right now.
For sure.
With them.
For sure.
But Pretty Deadly's out. I mean, all right. Street Profits are good.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot. There's a lot of good talent for the tags. I think creating the storylines for them is actually the issue that they're having. It feels like they're just hot potatoing the actual belt. You're like, it doesn't matter much when you're just constantly like, okay, they got the belt now. They got the belt now. There's barely a streak for the actual title. There's barely any matches to actually make it worth it.
I think in the right setting, a hot potato style could definitely work.
100%. 100%. Yeah. But then you'd have to have the storyline in order for it to make sense and to be hot, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think they'll eventually get there. It's not like it's hard to maintain what they currently have. You've got to focus on all these things too. Plus, you've got a bunch of like NXT talent that you could just throw in there on occasion sometimes. Like I feel like I love NXT. I think NXT is killing it. The stuff that the wrestling that they have, their storylines, it's just, to me, I feel more hype watching it sometimes.
Yes. Yeah, I'm trying to get into NXT. But yeah, that was my main point, is I just feel that, yes, I feel like their background and their knowledge could push some of these storylines a little bit better, you know, and get us to that good point. Okay, so real quick, I know we keep going a little bit off script, but this is an exciting show tonight. Make sure you're following AZ Toy Hunters Guild, just how you see it on the screen. Mike is a very cool dude, drops all the info out there, like Ross drops, Target drops, everything. You can see what's out there right now. If you have a Ross near you, it is very highly recommended to go check it out, because we have Marvel Legends dropping for $5.99 right now. Of the X-Men carded figures from the 97. You have the Sabu wave, the Blackheart wave, and also Black Series Star Wars of the Acolyte are also showing up in stores right now at Ross for $5.99. Wouldn't have known that without Mike's help. So go give him a follow, YouTube, Instagram, whatever it may be. Love you, brother. Thank you. We got Stormfire Blizzard is here. What's up, man? How are you? Lago Figs. Can't right now, but after Mania. Okay, you got it, Lago. Let's do it. The Kaiser in my DMs was like, yeah, right. Yeah. I love it. It's so funny. I couldn't either. That was really a reach. Unfortunately, everything got to her, is what I felt. You know, and it happens sometimes, right? Sonic Rockman X, what's up? Let's get Bug Nutty in here. Thank you for being here. John's here. What's going on? How are you, Herman? Let's see. Charles says, I'm just waiting to see Penta and Phoenix tag in WWE. Yeah. But I do like that they kept them separate right now. Go ahead, let them give them their run right now. Let's keep that going. And we're going to be talking about them. Lago says, where's the Wyatt 6 at? Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
Came in very strong, well received.
It's storylines, like how you have to somehow incorporate them in there, but then it's like, would you mess up something that already exists? And then it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they have too many superstars that it just becomes too difficult to juggle. And like, can everyone get a spotlight because of that?
Yeah,
it's tough.
It is a lot.
As far as I know, I don't think anyone in Y6 is injured. So there's really
right. That's why it's like
on TV.
I mean, I'm glad they're all still getting, they're all still getting paid.
Yeah,
they're all still employed, but it's like I wish sometimes that they just could get you because they're all good. Every single one of them there, you know what I mean? So
like where's my girl Alexa? She showed up at the Rumble, had one of the like biggest return pops. Like,
well,
I mean, bro, come on.
There's Mania is soon, so hopefully we see something from there.
Yes, absolutely.
Only she won the Rumble, bro, instead of Woo Man Charlotte.
Well,
I was hoping that too.
Yes, look at where everybody's reacting, and here it is. What's up, Grumps? Hound is here. Yes. Javier's also here. What's up? And that's we're caught up right now. So yeah, we'll definitely get into it. Anything else before we go on? Anything we might have missed? Any news? Anything? No, are we good?
Yeah, we good.
All right. So yes, all the stories have been moving like crazy. We will start from the current lineup right now, and we'll just go on from there. Okay. So I do have this graphic to bring up. Hope you all can see it. But a recent one that just started, and we're going to start from the bottom corners, is we do have Penta versus now what is the name?
Braun Breaker?
No.
Oh.
What?
Wait. Am I? Oh yeah, no. This is. Oh, that's right. It's a
4-way with
fair 4-way.
No, but I was talking about El Americano versus he's gonna go against Mysterio. My bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
El Grande Americano.
Oh yeah, there it is. El Grande Americano.
I gotta say, I love his mask.
I do, and I do love the gracias.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's pretty funny.
It's funny. It's definitely a little bit controversial, at least from what I've seen on Twitter, because I'm chronically online. The IWC hates it, and they think it's like, well, maybe they should stop, but I don't know. I think
they've toned it down slightly.
Yeah, the whole like Gulf of America stuff was kind of wild.
I know, but sometimes I feel like, at least with parody and humor, you have to take it into context for the most part.
Yes,
it's not so. Yeah. At least I'm trying to look at it from that point of view. I'm like, I don't think they're outright trying to be like, we're trying to be controversially, pushing the envelope here. It's like, it's a silly parody, and we all know who it is. So it's not like, I wonder who this masked man is. Like, who can it, type of stuff. So I don't know, but we know at this point the gimmick is gonna end soon, right?
Yeah, he'll probably get a Master Mania.
That's what I'm saying. So they get a Master Mania,
Correct.
and it's like, it was him all along. It's like, because who else could it be?
I really feel that this week it's going to turn into that. The match is going to be an unmasking match. Whoever loses has to get unmasked, or
of course.
I feel, because we still have a week left. And I do get it, Hound, how this is controversial and like that, because Lucha Libre is so respected in what they're doing. And I just feel at this time, though, it's like Chamba said, we do have to bring back some of the parody and satire. And if you don't understand that, then you kind of have to. I don't think they're overstepping the line, and I don't think that they would disrespect Mysterio like that either. I'm sure he had to be involved.
Exactly.
I'm sure they talked to him. There is really all this going on behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, and if you're pissed off about it, then they're doing their job. Like this. you're going to want to see what happens. And I do feel that this is going to turn into a removing of the mask type match.
I think that match is going to be one of the best ones in the whole card.
Yeah.
Because those two are just so good that I feel like I'm like, are they going to just tone it down so that they don't overshadow a lot of matches here?
It's
bro.
very
I want
true.
them to go all the way just to be like, okay, if this is going to be one of the first matches, it's like everyone has to bring their game because you can't. Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. Just the two involved. I'm like, I could watch these two wrestle all the time. Just that's how good they are.
And then again, it's WrestleMania.
Yes,
and it's like it is probably going to be one of those matches that is just overshadowing something else, and it is probably going to happen. You're absolutely right. But I'm excited to that, and that's my prediction. Is I think it's going to go into a remove the mask. We'll get to see that it's Chad Gable and Mysterio for the win. Do you guys kind of agree?
Oh
my God.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, we have so many wrestlers these days that it's obviously you will know who it is once we see it, but then they could easily have somebody underneath. It's like they pull him up, they pull them off. So it's like, wait, it wasn't Chad the whole time. It was just some other random job.
The security pulled him away, and Chad was all, I was all, gosh dang it. Okay, so the newest that.
Yes, it's fun. I mean, again, like that alone should tell you the tone of what they're going with. You know what I mean? It's not like this is not. He's not mocking it at all. He's playing it up, and because it's not coming from someone that is in lucha. It's like, well, is it disrespectful? I'm like, it's an homage parody to an extent. They're not. I don't know. I think context is a big thing about this, but that match is going to be great.
Who's your pick for the win?
Man, Mysterio.
Okay.
Yeah,
it kind of has to be. But the thing is, the beauty about this is that if it was just like just a straight up match between the two, it could be anyone. I would accept either of them. That's the thing. That's how good both of them are. That I'm like, doesn't matter. It depends what storyline that they're trying to tell.
Yeah.
But it would be crazy if Ray loses. That'd be something else.
Yeah, because I mean, it wouldn't make sense that Ray would lose because the whole thing of why Chad has even masked in the first place is to like overcome his fears of luchadors from like a couple weeks ago.
Exactly.
When that type of like Mexico and met some random old guy.
Because he could win and then it's like he unmasks himself and is like,
yeah, for sure.
Finally, I've overcome this. I can do this now. It's like, all right, cool.
It's always a storyline.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
always a storyline.
It has to be, and that's what I'm like. When bigger wrestlers come in sometimes, and I'm like, are they going to overstep it because they feel that they're bigger than the storyline? I'm like, you got to play the storyline, dude.
It's just like Grum said.
Yeah,
Mysterio could lose and still unmask Chad Gable. Yeah,
and that would be cool either way. Yes, that would be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Okay, but Hound, who is your pick though?
Right, it has to be
okay.
Right.
All right. Okay, moving on to the next one. This one is kind of just for me, but I feel he is one of the most hated ones right now in the game, and I don't. I get his gimmick and everything, but I do have to feel that dude is so freaking smart from bringing Prime into the ring as an ad. Like we never did that before.
Genius.
He's still throwing up his YouTube stuff. What else? If the crowd is yelling at you and not allowing to talk, you're still relevant then.
100%.
Because they're not anything. And I really truly do feel that Logan Paul versus AJ Styles will be one of the good ones as well too, because this kid I feel has pushed himself very hard to do this, and he does hit some really good stuff. He's not perfect, but he's still doing good stuff. That's just how I feel. He's had his moments. He's had everything in there. He's a very smart businessman. He knows what he's doing. And if the crowd is booing you, then I think you're still very relevant and doing your job. But a lot of people hate him. Hound, how do you feel?
I I don't want to touch his like outside sort of things with Logan Paul right that has happened with him. There's certain controversies.
Mhm.
I'm not a fan of that aspect of him. He's not
Correct.
that good of a person. But speaking strictly in ring, in front of the camera, we see he is legitimately one of the best like rookie wrestlers that I've seen. He's
100%.
insanely good, dude.
100%.
Whether he's being told to like he's memorizing his matches like Macho Man used to do. Is like one of the
Yes.
reports, whatever.
Yes.
But that doesn't matter because he's still doing like amazing matches. It's crazy. Like I love his in-ring work, and it makes me forget some of the evil stuff and evil people he's being aligned with. It's like kind of crazy, but
correct. Yeah.
And I love AJ Styles. He's great. He's one of the best wrestlers ever. I think that this will be the true stand-up match of WrestleMania. This has definitely the potential to be one of the best matches because both of these guys are just like insanely good in the ring. So
they are. My only thing is the years that AJ has over Logan Paul is probably just. I wouldn't want to see him to get upset and kind of fall out of the match. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because Logan Paul has had a few mess ups, and you're right. He does get it down to a science, and he wants to memorize everything. And sometimes you have to improvise, which he is picking that up. But I feel like AJ Styles is also the kind of like, buddy, you were supposed to be here and you weren't, and kind of goes a little bit off on his own, and I'm hoping, though, that it will be one of the most memorable matches that we've seen Logan Paul so far, because I feel like he keeps stepping himself up in every match.
Yeah, and AJ is a vet, so if anything's wrong with Logan, AJ will be able to fix that pretty shortly
100%.
and get Logan back on track. So
yeah.
I
just hope
a little kayfabe there, but
it turns out good. I got to agree with Hound. Logan Paul's an amazing wrestler, given his time in the business. Yeah,
100%.
It's quick.
Again. Yeah, Hound brought it up. It's like he hasn't been here for long, but he understands it. And whether or not it is something that he does, he has to study prior to the match, like rehearse, I suppose. That's not a bad thing. That's actually like planning ahead. But the thing about that is like things can happen in the ring where you have to veer from what you practiced, and AJ Styles can do that. He can do it on the fly. That's why it's going to be difficult. I do like. It's going to be an amazing match regardless because AJ can make anyone look good. That's the thing about this too.
He made Shane McMahon look good, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on.
But that's why I'm like, if you're going to pit someone against him, and don't get me wrong, I think like Logan Paul's matches have been amazing so far, but you have to also remember it's wrestling's a dance. Your opponent is your partner. They have to make like the good ones will make you look amazing. The good like remember Dolph Ziggler?
Yes.
That's my boy.
He made everyone look like they're the greatest wrestler.
You're absolutely right.
Do you know what I mean?
Did.
So
yes, he was.
AJ Styles is very good at that too. AJ Styles is amazing, where he can make his opponent, which you'd think, okay, this guy's not going to do. I was like, wow, he's killing it. It's like, yeah, because AJ is doing, he's doing half the job, if not more. So if anyone's going to put him over, AJ can do it. I want AJ to win. Personally, like story-wise, it's just he's the wrestler. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a legacy that he has. He's pure wrestler. Do you know what I mean? So as opposed to someone who, don't get me wrong, he's amazing in the ring, but he got into this after the fact. And I think sometimes there's always that stigma with somebody going into the business that wasn't originally in the business. It's like people would always judge him a little bit harsher because he was a YouTube or TikTok or whatever celebrity prior to it, right? Vine, thank you. He was a Vine celebrity prior to getting into wrestling. But don't get me wrong, he understands wrestling so much that it makes sense. But this is AJ's life. Do you know what I mean? Like that's why it's a little bit. It's more pressure on him if he loses, I suppose. Like we'll see where the story. We'll see how they book this, I guess.
Yeah. Also, hot take or cold take. I'm not sure. Hangman still does the buckshot Larry way better than Logan Paul could ever do. So I just got to shout out my boy Hangman for a second.
Sure.
There.
Well, again, it's the whole thing where it's like someone who's done it for a long time, someone who's just new to it, and he'll probably get better at it too. But yeah, Hangman sells it. He's more believable doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it's gonna be.
So we're all for AJ to win.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good match though. I feel it. I feel like if it can stick to what they've scheduled, but again, like I brought up before, it's like if it veers from whatever they have got planned, it's trickier for Logan Paul because thinking on his feet is going to be a lot. It's more difficult for him because he is newer and he doesn't have that experience. Like rehearsing it prior to it, great. That means he's going to get everything down pat. But again, like things can go wrong in the actual match itself where, okay, we have to change it up. And when you start changing it up, that's when it's like, okay, yeah, AJ's going to have to guide him.
Yes.
He's amazing.
Charles said all the vets compliment Logan's ability. Yes, Taker and Austin included. Never mind that he seems to be kind of a prick outside the ring. AJ looks great right now too. Hope it's not a gimmick ending.
Yes, that's what I'm hoping too. A gimmick ending to me is like, okay, are we still in McMahon era? Yeah. Please don't. Like Triple H is very different from McMahon as far as how things go. If you remember how he ran NXT, it was the best NXT.
Yeah, it was.
That's what I'm saying. Like that NXT has to me during that period where it was Raw, SmackDown, NXT was destroying the other two, and I was like, how you're making it look bad. So yeah, I'm hoping it's not a gimmick ending. It wouldn't be fair for either of the wrestlers, I feel.
And that's the point I was trying to make, was that it's you got to just knock out everything outside of the ring about Logan Paul and see what he's done so far.
And that's the problem though, because he brings his character the persona into it, and it's like it's attached to the character. It's harder because we are familiar with him outside.
Correct. Yeah. But so far what he's done in the ring, the kid's got some talent. He's been doing okay.
Super athletic.
And hopefully it works out between him and AJ and they can really dance well inside, and we're going to get a hell of a show. So that's what we're hoping for. I agree with Chamba. Triple H era of NXT was the best.
Oh, so good.
Okay, so next up, we have Jade and Naomi. We found out that it was Naomi who took out Jade and pushed her in. Yeah. Did you guys see this coming?
I wish it was Bianca. I wish it was heel. I wish Bianca turned heel, and that was the match. But
at the very beginning, I thought it was the two of them. I thought it was Bianca and Naomi who were just trying to get rid of her. And I thought, like, I was still waiting for that reveal, right? Like, oh, she was a part of it too. But we have Naomi turning heel. I still don't know how I feel about Jade in WWE. I feel like
she was far
bearings.
Yeah, she was presented way better in AEW.
100%. But I still think they're trying to get used to what she can bring into, because like the landscape of WWE is very different compared to AEW, right? So there's a lot more players, and they're all amazing. So it's like, okay, again, it's the problem of you've got so much talent. How can you possibly spread it out? The actual, screen time and whatnot. It should be good though. I think like Naomi's, to me, she's been one of the best female wrestlers for a very long time. So I'm glad that I'm glad she has a Mania match that seems to be something. Do you know what I mean? She's always been good, super talented. So it's like cool, and she looks like she's having fun in the deal.
Yeah, I saw a tweet the other day that it said that this match with Naomi and Cargill is, I think, the first time in 16 years there's been like a female, or just a women's match on the card that's not that doesn't have a title included.
I love it.
Yeah, the last time it was like a bra and panties match, I think. So.
That's wow. Talk about McMahon era. Sheesh.
Yes, absolutely.
Good God.
Speaking of bra and panties matches, we do have a very special guest right now. I'm so happy he can make it.
Great segue.
Oh, okay. Augie's in the house.
Wilson and
Speaking of bra and panties,
yeah. What's up, Augie? How are you?
I meant to sleep for 20 minutes, and an hour and a half later, I'm like seeing your texts.
No worries, man. I'm glad you could show up and everything.
Everybody.
We were just going through here the card that we see of what is going to be Mania and some of the stories. So just real quick, we're still just starting into it, but just so we can get your quick input, who do you feel is it going to be, Mysterio or El Grande Americano?
I think it'll be a Grande Americano because I just think he's still new. Still new. Right? The worst kept secret ever. I think Mysterio will put him over. I think, it sounds hard to say, but because Ray has such a Hall of Fame career, and the whole thing was, Chad Gable was going to find this character to face off against anyone from Lucha Libre, and then Rey Mysterio's, quite literally the king of Lucha Libre. So
yes,
the idea of him then just falling flat and not winning, I feel like goes against Chad's patience, because he was in a huge program for a while for the IC title. He has yet to hold a singles championship in WWE, and Triple H has essentially promised him kind of a wait and see, and the Wyatt 6 thing kind of fell flat. So I definitely think they're in a stage now where they're like, okay, we have to reward him. And the thing is with WrestleMania, it's their most important show. And I think Ray doesn't need this.
No, he never does.
Do you know what I mean? The only one that the last time it felt like Ray needed something was when Dominic.
Right.
And they did a lot of stuff where Dominic was pushing his buttons, and you needed that conclusion. Do you know what I mean?
That one makes sense. That win made sense.
Sure. And then also, I think things with Triple H's era, I feel like things have to make more sense. They have to have continuity. And if you used to watch NXT takeovers, some things were very cut and dry, like black and white. You knew Ray was going to win at the end. That was like the storyline. You could see that being the resolution. But they do a really good job of saying, okay, Ray's going to win, but we're going to make this matter, and we're going to give you a really great story. And their PLEs have been so good that even when something's predictable, it doesn't ruin my enjoyment. So I feel like they've been really strong with that lately. So that said, I feel like Gran Americano, there's so much more to go. If he were to, let's say, lose and then get unmasked, what would be the point?
We were saying earlier, I don't know if you caught it, Augie, it's like he should win but unmask himself, because because he's overcoming this whole lucha thing. Do you know what I mean?
I would.
He's the one that actually reveals it. Yeah.
Because that's a resolution,
right?
It kind of reminds me of did you guys ever watch Lucha Underground?
Heck yeah, dude, that thing was so good.
Oh my god. Well, I missed the last 2 seasons because I couldn't stream it. I was trying to stream it, but I know it's so good. But do you remember when Penta was feuding with Vampiro? And you were like, why? This is so dumb.
Right.
Like in my opinion, I was like, Vampiro, he's past his prime. He's an announcer. So you're gonna have a bloody match with an announcer.
Yeah.
So you guys could just show a bunch of blood. And it's because Penta was trying to get to where he needed to be, and his teacher just kept pushing him and pushing him and pushing him. And then right at the end, when you realize Vampiro was the teacher the whole time,
that's why it was like
the coolest reveal ever. And the whole crowd went, whoa. And I actually,
I love Lucha Underground.
Lucha Underground was really good. They shot in Boyle Heights, which is about 25 minutes from me. And the thing that was really interesting, especially about season 1, was they didn't know the storylines, because a lot of it was produced, right? They had their storyline segments. So the entire first season, the live audience was only into the wrestling. They didn't even know what the stories were. They were just cheering because everything was
but the wrestling itself was so good.
So good.
That you're like, cool. If you're an audience, I'm just seeing dope wrestling.
But then the production made it make sense. So then when
the production was phenomenal.
Went to the show for the second season, people knew the storylines and knew the characters. That it was that much better. It was so interesting. I had a conversation with John Morrison once about Lucha. It's weird, but he lives up the street. But we were talking about Lucha, and he was telling me about how he used to have not arguments, but he would have discussions of philosophy with Penta, with Phoenix, because the Mexican wrestlers were just working so hard, and every 20 seconds was an And John Morrison was like, well, you're doing this for TV, so you got to slow it down. You got to give a little more story. It just can't be like move, move, move. But with them especially, it was like a 5-minute match turns into a 6-minute match, turns into an 8-minute match. And then for many of them, Lucha Underground was their first time on TV, and that's their introduction. So they were like, sorry, we're going to do our style, because if it's getting us more TV time, like whether good, bad, you give us a storyline or not, like people are being introduced to us. We can't have a flat first impression.
It made sense. It made sense what they were doing.
Both of them made sense.
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting. Anyway,
if anyone hasn't watched Lucha Underground, definitely check it out if you can. It's
so good.
The way it was produced, the way it was shot, I was like, I haven't seen anything like this in wrestling ever. I think this is phenomenal.
So we had a couple here. Machu's also in the house. He said, whoa, what does Chad Gable have to do with this match?
Nothing, dude. He's got nothing to do with it.
At all.
Trump says, yeah, spoilers. And Machu says, Gran Americano has been wrestling since before Chad Gable was born. Come on.
True.
Well, the mask, I think, existed.
Yeah.
Felipe says, what's up, Felipe? WWE always has an algorithm till this day. If someone gets screwed before a pay-per-view, they are going to win on the pay-per-view. What else do we have here? I keep seeing the match between Chelsea Green and Penta on my IG feed from Lucha Underground.
Yeah,
check it.
So good.
Again, Lucha Underground was, and also
stuff.
Chelsea. I'm so glad Chelsea Green is actually like being pushed, because she's always been good.
I think the thing with her is
I love her.
She's special, and the reason why is because she has a couple of ground rules. Like one, because she herself has had work done and stuff, she doesn't get into personal people like low blowing, talking about people's looks and stuff like that. The one thing that was really interesting with her is, and she gets this, the whole idea isn't to win titles. The whole idea is to steal the show. And the way she does it is she's like, I'm going to get the best segment, so they'll give me another segment.
Yep.
And then because she realizes and understands this as an actress, you're on a TV show. And she's like, it's not about winning the championship. It's about giving you more time on TV.
100%.
Like Vicky Guerrero was really over without being in a ring.
She wasn't even really a wrestler.
She wasn't.
Yeah.
That's why it's like, and but see, the thing about
week.
Chelsea as well is like Chelsea is great in the ring.
Yes,
but she knows. But the thing is, she knows that it's like that's only part of it. If she can kill it on the mic or in a random a silly segment that no one else would do, she'll do it.
What she said too is that she's not desperate for a belt. She literally said in an interview she doesn't care if she ever wins a championship, and I think you can read that lack of desperation. And then people are just like, just reward her. She knew. I think she knew
at that point too. It's like, just at this point, people want her with a belt because she has that at it, and because she brings it all the time. She makes the show entertaining.
It's like, so entertaining. And what she's doing with that belt right now with the U.S. title is great.
It's so fun.
I will never forget. I couldn't tell you 3 United States champions. I couldn't tell you. I will never forget Chelsea was the United States champion.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right.
And you won because she was the first one, wasn't she?
Yeah,
she's longest reigning, youngest.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So automatically, it's like she's gonna be remembered with that belt, regardless.
Well, she turned it into a whole gimmick, which is
everything
how
with
you
the secret her of this, like, so funny.
She's good. She's
so
great.
Good.
We have another guest to the show as well too. Wants to jump in the ring with us.
We pretty much.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Yeah. What's up, sir?
What's up?
I hated us.
How was your show?
It was good. It was good.
How's Robo?
Robo was fun. He was a really good guest. You should have him sometime.
Yeah.
Get him on.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've talked about it before. Yeah, absolutely. So that's awesome. Yeah. Wait, should have probably told him we were doing wrestling talk as well.
Oh yeah, he does wrestling.
Yes, yeah.
He said he hasn't been caught up lately with the WWE.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've been bad with SmackDown and NXT because I don't have any way to stream them. I don't have
same
anything like that. So a lot of the stuff I get caught up on, I have Raw, and for some reason, YouTube does not care about blocking women's matches, so it's easy for me to catch up.
Dang,
they don't care.
Any way to promote them, I guess.
Charles says, watch Sheamus Celtic Warrior workouts. You get a great alternate backstage view of the wrestlers, and Chelsea was on there recently, and it was great. So was Penta.
Great on everything.
Yeah, Punk was like the last episode, I think.
Grum said, damn, I didn't know Ernie and Nuggie had this much wrestling in them.
Oh, really?
We don't talk about it. That's why sometimes when we talk about it during They're Not Dolls, Cheney's just kind of sitting there like,
yeah. He's like,
and it's funny because he knows nothing of it.
All right. Yeah.
I did my senior thesis on pro wrestling in college.
What?
Sweet. Hell yes.
Yeah,
That's
let's
awesome.
go, baby. Cook.
Machu.
Okay, so we'll
Quiz. Ray, Grand Americano.
Oh, Grande Americano.
There we go.
Okay.
You're gonna go for it. We said right. Okay, so
I might
you do.
change it. Honestly, that's what I was saying earlier. It's like I don't care who wins. I just want it to
100%.
forward the story.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good
We'll
match.
be entertained.
Yeah. That's
Yes,
the thing.
absolutely.
It still could
Yeah.
be the best
They're
match of
two
the entire
amazing,
night.
amazing people.
So
All right, real quick, just so we get caught up. Machu, is it gonna be Logan or AJ?
Oh man, I think Logan needs a win. I think he does.
The
No.
WrestleMania win?
I think he
No.
does. Yeah, because he wants
though
to
he
go
got
full time. Like he's been saying, he wants to go full time.
Well, he is full time apparently, right?
He's he's full time now. But like,
Yeah.
and AJ doesn't need a win over Logan Paul.
No, he
honestly.
doesn't.
And I feel like he is winding down in his career.
If he goes full time, sure, absolutely. That's my
Yeah.
thing. I don't want to see. I'd love to see these dudes go more often, as opposed to like, oh, they're only here during PLEs. It's like, okay,
But you could see that
The PLE
Logan
residents.
Paul needs more work, like on the microphone when he's like,
Yes.
live,
Yes.
because he can't react to the audience as well because he doesn't have that much time under his belt with, working with the crowd. He's always working on his moves, so all his
Yes.
moves look good. They look great, and like a lot of his matches are spot fests, so they're all planned out. But when it comes to like feeling the crowd, I don't think he's there yet, but he can grasp that pretty quickly.
it's because he doesn't have that actual that time under his belt.
right.
That's why by being a full timer, he'll get way more. It'll pick up. more.
He runs into the just let him talk. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and you really got to
exactly.
learn how to turn it around. Yeah.
Yes.
Which hopefully
get
he
there.
does.
If he goes full time, he'll get there without a doubt.
Okay, so he's going Logan. Augie, how about you?
You know what? I'm probably going to be wrong, but I think I'm going to go with AJ Styles. And the reason why I say that is because I really feel like Logan Paul's a natural heel. And I think it's going to sound weird to say, but he doesn't need the win to get heat because he already has it. AJ Styles, I think some people might consider it, or some people might consider Logan Paul maybe like a drip of respect if he jobs to AJ Styles. Because AJ Styles still has like a career left, but also AJ Styles is at that point in his career that he's really cool with putting people over, and I think
He's always been,
and he always can put together a really
always
good
been,
match,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he might put together a match with Logan Paul that'll make us go, "Whoa, Logan's really come a long way as a wrestler." So I have a feeling that both of them in this situation are willing to give. And I don't think either of them will necessarily budge or damage each other one way or another, which unfortunately doesn't make this match that exciting for me. I think they did a great job in their promo work of building heat for the match. I do feel like it's sort of just thrown together. It's that thing at WrestleMania where we're like, we need to give these people something to do because Logan Paul's an attraction. I think he's a natural athlete. I think right from the jump, I was like, he's really good. Like whether he's being led by or not, he has a lot of natural ability. And because the whole point of WWE is to go worldwide, and he already was worldwide going in. He's been the best fit, I think, from that kind of world coming in. He's done a fantastic job, like him or not. On the other hand, there are things he's done where I think he's banned from certain countries. So if they have to tour with a title or something, he wouldn't be able to go.
Yeah, he can't go to
certain
Japan.
places.
Yeah.
So he can't really put the W in WWE. But yeah, I'm just, you know what? I mean, it's neither here nor there for me, but I'll say AJ Styles.
Okay. All right. Just to catch up with the chat just real quick. Will says, what if Ray was the dude who trained Grand Americano?
I would love it.
Shell Presents, what's up, Shell? Grand Americano is going to beat Mysterio, but Ray Phoenix will save Mysterio. So he's going to show up there.
Like post-match beatdown?
Could be. What I don't like is Felipe says, what I don't like is AJ passing the torch twice. Last year was for LA Knight. AJ deserves a lot better than this.
I don't think AJ passed the torch to LA Knight last year, though. It didn't feel like that kind of match.
No, you didn't think so?
No.
You felt LA Knight had already put himself over himself?
Yeah.
And Shell's pick is Logan beats AJ by shenanigans. All right. And then we were just getting into Naomi and Jade. We were talking about that pairing, Naomi turning heel and like that. So Chamba, who is your pick? Naomi or Jade?
I'm going Naomi because I just like her. Jade's great, but I still think right now, story-wise, she still needs to feel it out a bit more, I suppose. I feel like they're kind of floundering with her story right now. They don't really know what they're doing. But yeah, I'm going for Naomi.
All right. Hound?
I wanted to be Naomi because I think that this new heel run for her has been really refreshing.
Yes.
Like I don't want to say like the stuff she's been doing was stale, but it was mostly the thing that what she was doing before she left WWE to go to TNA, and now she's kind of just forming her own distinct just like thing, which I really like. It's gonna be Jade. It's probably gonna be Jade, but I really want it to be Naomi.
I think it's Jade, but I want Naomi basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Augie, how about you? How do you feel about this new heel turn for her?
Naomi. Well, I've always felt like she was a diamond as a heel. I mean, 100%. Even when her Team Bad days, when Sasha first came in, like it just fit her like a glove. I thought there was always something about her face stuff that I always felt a little tacked on, and her heel was there was an ease to it. Naomi's frustrating because sometimes I feel like with a lot of people, you see the same match over and over and over. I don't think I've ever seen one superstar introduce more new moves per match than Naomi. Naomi's had a series of clinics with Nia Jax of all people. Like, she is fantastic, and when they let her go, she can really go. And a lot of great women's matches have her in it. And I think TNA showed that she could do it. I will admit, when they started the SmackDown Women's Championship, Naomi stood out like a sore thumb. Like her glow gimmick was so good.
Yep.
And I think they've been riding that. And there's only so many ways you could, to use a pun, to remix it. And she has done a great job remixing it, but it was time for her to go back to being heel. And I think you needed a good storyline for it. I think the reveal of Jade just running up and attacking her, knowing it was her the whole time, was a little weird. And watching it kind of play out on social media, like Jade already kind of inferred in social, I know it's you. And you're like, what? Like, it was a weird way to, like, that whole like discovery was very strange. And I still don't think we even have the whole story. I just thought it was just really flat. And I was like, oh, well, okay, I guess they're just going there. Her promo, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, was some of the best stuff I've ever seen, even though it was produced. It was great to see Naomi have range as an actress. Yes. That promo was so good with the proceed with caution thing, another reinvention. Naomi hasn't had a quintessential storyline. And I think people have been asking for years for her to be in the bloodline, which I think would be lazy.
No, it would be cool.
It would be cool, but I think she doesn't need it yet. I feel like putting her in the bloodline, man. Oh, we ran out of ideas, Naomi. Let's throw you into the
unless she becomes like the primary of the bloodline.
Yeah, like, or just like a woman's faction, like her, Tamina, Nia, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It's not needed, right? It's not needed right now.
Yeah, exactly. They could do that anytime. Right?
Yeah, that could be an anytime thing.
I think. Well, here's the thing. So Jade's already had a loss to Liv Morgan. So they're definitely not. They're not treating Jade as precious, which I really like that. They're setting this up for that Jade could lose believably, because this match would never happen if they thought this could be a squash. I also think sometimes management will read the room now, and the crowd now being into it, they can make it a WrestleMania match. I think it's. I'm just gonna parrot what you guys say. I think it's gonna be Jade. I really want it to be Naomi. I also think this won't be their last match.
No, of course.
I think that there's going to be a thing. Yeah, I think Bianca will still be involved in this.
Yeah,
moving forward. Yeah, I feel like, and there's been hints along the line. Oh, that's another thing too. I want to say with WWE, they've been doing a really fun job of planting little Easter eggs when someone's giving a promo or something. And if you look far into the background, you'll see two innocuous people talking, and it leads to something later. They've been doing that a lot, which is pretty cool. Like how Alba Fire joined the Secret Service. Yeah. Like you see Piper and Alba talking like a few weeks before they present it. I like that kind of stuff. I think this will continue. I think both of them will. Well, this is just a match of Naomi carrying Jade, right? Like that's pretty much what it is. Pretty much what it is. But I've been liking the intensity. I've been liking it. I've been really enjoying the storyline, but like what Chamba was saying, it's starting to get a little flat. I feel like Naomi's really keeping the whole thing booming right now. It's been all her, and I've been excited about it.
I think so too. Matt, who's it going to be?
I agree with everybody. I want it to be Naomi, but I think it's going to be more beneficial for Jade to get a win. Like, I think Naomi can still continue on regardless if she wins or loses. Yeah. But like Jade definitely needs like some momentum.
Wait a minute, could she? Because a lot of fans complain that Naomi eats too many losses.
Oh, she does. She does, but that's
but it feeds into her heel character then.
Yeah.
If she keeps losing. Right?
To get it, yeah. And I feel like this character, I feel like she's had input into it. Like you said, that production that they showed of her was really good. Very intense. I love the proceed with caution. She's really selling it because just like when we had the glow era of it, there was a lot too, and you can tell that was her. This is the next step. So I see it as that too, is I think she has a lot of input of what's going on finally, and they're giving her that. So it may be the Jade win, but I think it's going to keep going into something else. And like, it's going to play out really, really well. So
I'm wondering just how committed she is, because I could see Naomi going over because Jade has already said wrestling isn't her number one thing. She wants to be into movies. So I feel like Jade would be in a position where she would allow herself to lose to give herself time off to go act in something, because WWE is a stepping stone for her to other things that she's never been shy about it. So I'm curious about how much Jade would be willing to job as a trade-off for time off.
She's going to be the Marine 8.
Yeah,
that's what she's gonna have, right?
Fingers crossed.
Switch it up. Yeah, we're gonna switch it up.
Maybe it should be Storm and Doomsday. Halle Berry's not there, so
yeah, she very well could be. Charles says, I think there will be some sort of interference with Jade versus Naomi match. Not sure who, but someone else will have beef with Jade.
The only person left is Bianca, in my opinion.
And I still, like I was saying earlier, I think that she was a part of it. That's what I thought the whole time.
I think so too. I think they're hiding it, and I think Naomi did push her, but that doesn't mean she's the mastermind. This whole thing doesn't work, and I think Bianca's already wearing black. She's already going heelish. She's getting a little hinting in her outfit.
I think there's a lot more there than what we know. Yeah. Grum says Nia Jax is my queen.
I love Nia Jax. Up, down, left, right, and center. I love her now.
Shell says Naomi beats Jade. Naomi has taken too much heat since Jade came back. I think Jade loses clean to Naomi and sets up the Bianca versus Naomi.
Oh, that would be a good swerve just to even play it up more.
Naomi had a great run in TNA, and she should be in a championship program. Give her her flowers.
True.
Jade in a program with Chelsea or Lyra would be a good move for Jade.
Be a good move for
very
Lyra.
Fun. Chelsea would bring it always. You know what I mean?
I agree with you guys, says Grumps. I think Naomi's job is to get Jade over. And Charles said, didn't they announce or tease that all-female PLE coming back sometime this year? Be a good time to start creating a storyline for that. I've heard the same, where they were going to have one all-female.
It was rumored that Evolution is going to come back, but there hasn't been any confirmation on whether it's going to actually happen or not.
Okay, so not confirmed yet. All right.
Yeah, no.
Grumps think, is it Bianca versus Jade the goal? Right? Isn't it?
I wish that was the Mania match. Like, that's what it should have been.
I mean, I think we'll get Jade versus Bianca at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
All right, next up on the list is a really cool that I think is going to be an absolute great match, and I don't know if you guys are going to be surprised with my guess, but we have the Fatal 4-Way, Dom, Finn, Penta, and Braun Breaker. I am so in love with Dom. I've loved him from the beginning. I think his heel is great, that people love to hate him, but they still cheer him. When are we cheering and booing? Like, they're letting him do the mic now and everything. His matches are so clean. You can tell he has grown up in the business. I don't think that gets enough shown of how clean he does wrestle, and he can. And I want the outcome to be Dom with the belt and some type of heat in Judgment Day because of it. And I can just see this whole Eddie Guerrero storyline playing out because he has mimicked it so well up until this point. Like everything. His look, his matches, and like that. So I'm hoping Dom comes out. Finn is great too. He's a great person to give your in-ring justice to. He'll make you look good, even maybe if you're not. Finn really can. Penta has the audience behind him, but I think it may be too quick to go ahead and hand it over. And Braun Breaker, he's now coming into play, and I actually like Braun where he was. I didn't like how they set up the bad guy, because you saw him very well played as a babyface in the back or interviews. Like, he's a nice guy. He's a cool guy.
He's a good heel, though.
Yeah, I
just
hated his face on NXT. It was just too generic. I love him as a heel.
He was generic. He was kind of characterless back then. He was great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
he was
wouldn't have
new.
pushed him. He was great.
Yeah,
that's
new.
right. He was
And
fresh.
I think it's so hard to play face. Natural faces are very rare.
They're difficult, because to maintain that, it's not easy. It's probably way more difficult than just a straight up heel.
I think for natural faces, you got to put in time with the audience. Like that, you'll see that with Dom. Like because he's put in so much time with the audience, he will be a natural face. Like once he makes that turn.
Yep.
Everybody loves to hate him right now.
I mean, that's what happened with John Cena. Like people,
they do.
Like,
but
you were waiting for him to be face, for him to do it, and you're right. If they play with the timing correctly, Dom, as much heat as he gets now, will be amazing.
I think if he wins, it will be one of the biggest pops ever, and everybody will be right there. Yeah, I'm hoping that's the outcome.
He gets the opposite of go home heat. Like people, like you said, like people love to boo. Honestly, he's like Chelsea times a million. Like when Chelsea was getting booed, but you kind of like their character. Like Dominic was like, he can't even talk.
Right.
He's like, I boo. Yeah. Like, what? Like to the point where you could tell the audience is enjoying it, and it's not. Yeah, it's like Ernie. You read it right. I think there isn't a bad choice in the 4. First of all, everyone's generally protected because anytime you do triple threat or fatal 4-way, it's more about the opportunity of the person slipping in and stealing a pin. A lot of Alexa Bliss putting her over as champion a lot were not one-on-one matches. It was multiple person matches, and Alexa Bliss being an opportunist because she wasn't the best wrestler. So I think everyone's relatively protected. It's not about, I feel like all of them are strong choices to win, in my opinion. It's about what's the most interesting choice moving forward. It's about what's going to move the storyline forward for that championship. I think Braun keeping the title would not be a bad idea. Because you can still have fallout in the Judgment Day during the match that has nothing to do with the belt, or as a way of them losing and blaming each other for the loss. Because the whole point, right, is that it goes back to Judgment Day. It's supposed to not really matter who it's for, but when you see both of them eager to have it, I think that you don't need the belt to have that tension or to build that tension.
Also, you won't take the belt off Braun if you don't plan on pushing him up.
I think yes. I mean, I'm saying unless they have an opponent lined up for him, or they revisit this in like a.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like you're not gonna take the title off of Braun Breaker unless there's a story where he's moving up.
Yeah, like I said, there's no bad choices about which one is the most interesting. So for me, whenever I see 4-ways, I go, okay, if Penta were to win, where does he go? If Braun were to win, where does he go? It's Ernie's point. I think it would be for me. It would be the most interesting if Dom won, because he already has the heat. Honestly, I think there's a lot of heat that's going on that kind of doesn't have anything to do with the title. I think Dom having the belt would mean something. Not that Braun Breaker doesn't, but I feel like people look at how amazing he is and just assume he's a title holder. So wrestling fans get fickle like that. I feel like also like, okay, he already has it, he already got it, he can lose it.
The Intercontinental title has always been like the workhorse champion, and I feel like Dom is on every show. He's like he goes to he makes every appearance. He's the company dude, right? I think he was on Logan Paul's podcast.
Yep.
And they were talking about how he goes to everything.
Yeah, I think it was maybe last year, where he was in more shows, including house shows, than anybody else. Or it's just he'll
also done a
be
really
there.
good job of getting the women's world championship and the women's tag titles over as well.
Right. So I feel like they would probably put the IC belt on him in Mania.
To a pop.
I would love to see it. And I think that was the funniest thing is when they just won the tag team ones, and Triple H brought him into the picture and said, "You won this too." That was hilarious, dude. And there goes Dom. Oh, okay. And he was,
yeah.
What's up? Yeah, that was hilarious.
It's organic too. I feel like a lot of that energy is organic now, which I really like.
Hound, who do you feel is going to be the winner?
I want it to be. Oh, is it me?
No,
yes.
I was hearing too. I was like, what?
Okay, I want it to be Dom as well. I think I love Dom right now. He's going great. Penta would be great as well. I love the stuff he did in AEW. The one person who I would not want to win this match is Finn, because for me, I was a massive Finn fan, but I feel like he's lost some of his luster with his whole Judgment Day stuff, and he's kind of boring right now. And I'm not a fan of him right now, and I feel like he needs to get built up to win a title again. He loses so many matches, and it's kind of got to a point where like
Finn is so good.
He's a jobber, but
yeah, Finn is so good though. That's the problem.
Yeah, like he's so good, but like
I'm saying,
he's amazing. I miss his other half.
I miss the demon.
The demon.
I want the demon
I
so bad.
I want the demon so bad. Like
I hate that he lost to Wyatt. I will say this: it also provides a better storyline because you know how we're saying like, oh, Finn is not my first choice. It's actually the perfect choice to be Dom's rivalry because it's the same. It's Damian all over again. Like Finn is supposed to be the one to get it. He's positioning himself as the apex, and the side guy gets it, and he gets jealous about it.
It's a more entertaining story.
What Liv's been planning the whole time too is for Dom to win, because and I feel what's going to happen is Liv is going to start becoming kind of like a tween. She's already becoming kind of a tween face. She gets a face pop now. So I feel like this is going to push Finn, and the only thing I think that's gonna happen that I think that could make the storyline really interesting involving the title is her pushing Dom to win and to go after his own thing, having him win the IC championship, and then she turns on him and sides with Finn.
Yeah, that would be good.
And then they're together.
They've been together this whole time.
Yeah. I think they have.
Liv is going with everybody.
Evil Diva said the same thing.
I miss Finn being solo. Like I miss Finn just not having a crew. To me, that was always he's strong. Like don't get me wrong, like I'm talking about like old school New Japan with Bullet Club, but that's not the same. Like that can't be brought back. Do you know what I mean? But when Finn was rocking solo in WWE, I was like, that was the highest he's ever reached. You know, if not for that injury, he would have been the champion for a while. I felt like they had to switch the story up because of that. And I'm like, oh man, it was stolen from him. It was taken. So it's like he never got that opportunity, unfortunately. Yeah. And that was like, and after that, it was like he never got it back. And I'm like, that sucks, dude. Like,
I feel like his best work has been done in NXT from like the first time he was there, then like when he went back during like the pandemic.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Because it shows he could still rock it, no problem. And that's kind of, it's unfortunate in a way where you see the guys that they can always put on a dope match. They're great in the mic. They can do good storylines. They're rarely given that opportunity sometimes. And I'm like, why would you, like with AJ Styles even, you know, it's like they're the best guys, but you're using them to push other things. And that's fair, I guess. But it also depends on the rest of themselves, whether or not they're like, yeah, I like this. This is good. For all we know, they can enjoy this part, right? They don't have to be in the title picture. They don't have to have a belt. So who knows?
It's going to be a good match, and I hope it goes long. I hope
it'll be fun regardless.
Yeah, I hope it's worthy of all four of their talents. Yeah.
Also, think about this: if depending on how the world title match goes, you need if Jay wins, you need guys for Jay to go against later on.
100%.
So everybody in this 4-way match is a potential contender for Jay's title if he wins.
1,000%.
Very true. Yeah, to take that next level and
they'd all be great matches.
Of it. Yes, yeah,
they'd all be great matches.
They would. Okay, so that 4-way. We're all going to agree that's going to be a definite watch, and let's see what happens because there's many possibilities that can go from it. But next we do get into the LA Night, and we got Jacob Fatu now. I mean, are we just already planning it that Jacob's already won?
Let's go. I love you, Jacob. I pledge to you, bro.
But beforehand, like I kind of feel like that's what it is. Like this dude just took off like a rocket so quick.
He's so
through the storylines. He is very good. That I feel like it's like, okay, can you just give him the belt? Like, here you go, because we need, him to have it now.
Do you remember when in the Nation of Domination when The Rock joined? I feel like Jacob is like The Rock of the Nation of Domination.
That's a good point.
The new bloodline.
Yeah, you're right, because he did take it over real quick, right? Wasn't it like 3 segments with The Rock in the Nation of Domination, and then he was up front?
Yeah, and then like he got the IC belt, and then Farouk was like, "What are you doing, man? I'm the leader,"
Yeah, and then he just took over everything. I mean, that's where the eye roll comes from. What was that of them trying to talk like, "Oh, I got this"? So I don't know. I'm going with Jacob immediately. I think it might be just a quick match, not one of our long ones that we go to. They give him the belt. He gets his big pop. Everybody celebrates. And I think the storyline from this point is going to be crazy as far as bloodline and everything else. With him having the belts, and what is he going to throw around to his story and what's going to happen next. So I just see it as being a quick match, and Jacob's going to take, right over. Hound, do you agree? Or what do you think?
I love LA Knight. I'm a massive fan. But it has come on, give it to Jacob. I don't know. It has to be Jacob. Like he's way too good. It's insane that just Jacob's the best.
He's pretty good. All right. Augie, what do you feel? Who do you think it's going to be?
I think Jacob at this point is pretty undeniable. At this point,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would be confused if he didn't win.
That's a great point. Yeah, all of us are sitting there, right? Yeah.
I mean, this is a guy who's
what happened?
Destroyed Braun Strowman, right?
Okay, yes. Now you're saying that. Oh man, what if Solo makes him lose?
Well, this is the whole thing. I think on the one hand, I could see Jacob having the title and Solo being jealous because
that's what I'm saying.
Also, when you look, okay, so is this it's SmackDown, right?
Yeah, he's on.
I've been watching SmackDown, so I have no idea about this story. So I'm just going by what I see.
So they're making it that Solo is still kind of, but you can see Jacob.
But he's being
Jacob doesn't walk. Yeah, Jacob doesn't walk behind him anymore.
Analogy.
Yeah, he doesn't take show.
He's on the side of him and everything now.
Right.
So it is building
that was always,
up to that.
I felt like that was always being teased. Here's this super talented guy. I'm sorry. This might make me sound really bad. I never cared for Solo so far.
Yeah, no, he's not a cookout.
I hate to say this, but I always kind of looked at him. I go, oh, he's the other one. There's Roman Reigns, and then there's the Usos, and then there's another one. To me, they go, he's the Street Fighter. I'm like, what about him makes him a Street Fighter? I don't know. He was in NXT for a second. I will say I felt like he was really challenged being somewhat new, and they're like, oh, we're throwing you in a storyline with Roman Reigns. I was like, that's a lot of pressure, and I felt he did really great.
Yeah.
For being new, and he could have just completely flubbed it, and I was like, oh wow, he's carrying it, but still I've just never cared for him. But sometimes I think you need characters like that, people who are just just a schemy, Finn Balor sort of in that role right now, where he's just kind of like a worm. And I think Solo plays that pretty well. Maybe a more powerful version of a worm, but definitely someone who's thinks he's in charge, is power hungry. I think Solo plays this character well. I just think that Jacob oozes charisma, and as for somebody who doesn't regularly watch SmackDown, when you see ads for WWE.com and there's merch sales and they have wrestlers modeling the merch and stuff, Jacob's in those commercials.
Yeah,
Solo isn't, and also he's a heel. So it's not only that they're kind of turning him a little bit, he's getting really popular with the fans to the point that people want his merch, to that he's in ads promoting said merch. It's what it is. And I think LA Knight might not, he's still really entertaining, but I think people might think maybe at this point it's more fun to watch him chase the title than have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then also it bleeds into other things, like you were saying, with Solo's building jealousy, that it can cause something like that. It can cause that kind of like a triple threat match. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's little things like that that can spill over into storyline opportunities where if LA Knight wins, the only thing that would make that interesting was what you already said, was that or I forgot, someone already said
Solo cost him.
Yes, if Solo cost him, that's the only thing that would make that make sense. But Jacob won't lose clean, I'll tell you that much.
No.
Way too over.
No, yeah.
So
yeah, that's very true.
That's my feelings on it.
Yeah, I love his
and I love LA Knight.
Like rhyming as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a good story. I mean, they got to let Jacob win, you know? And then you can put LA Knight back in all these places, you know, of different competitors and everything for him, which will still work. And Matt, you made a great point of that, and he goes over. So do you feel, Matt, do you think like Jacob wins and he takes over Bloodline? Or do you think he goes on a solo track like Rock did?
I see. The thing is, I don't really watch SmackDown as much as I watch Raw, but like also I don't know who would LA Knight fight after this. Who would he face after this if he were to win? I feel like LA Knight needs to turn heel.
No, he's still way too over to.
He's
do
way
that.
over.
Is he though?
He still gets massive pops every week.
Is.
He really is. I mean, he's basically our Macho Man. Yeah,
he's with the Slim Jim commercials.
No matter what. That's true too.
Yeah,
if
he's with the Slim Jim.
He won't be heel. I won't be heel. I think we're gonna deal with. I think they're gonna do Jacob's turn slowly. He's still gonna be like the heel in it, but kind of like a cool heel. Because
Jacob's so over though. He doesn't need a title.
Yeah.
But what would be the reason other than Solo interfering? It doesn't help him to lose either, though.
No, of course not. And I feel like that's how he'll lose, is because of the interference, not to assist him, but to make him lose.
So you feel it is going to be interference?
Yeah, but not with Jacob winning.
Yeah.
Like his interference was Jacob's win. Because Solo's like that. I should be the title holder. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I feel this is going to be one of the quick ones, and then we'll see what happens. And
it'll be fun though. They're both great in the ring, so
I think like this card that we're seeing, these two nights are all going to be a lot of fun. Like your Saturday and Sunday lineup, it's going to be great. This is going to be awesome. Okay, so now we move to Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. This has been crazy and all over social media, like we talked about a little bit earlier. You guys weren't here with us, and I know you said you haven't been into SmackDown, but basically they had.
Oh, I've seen this segment.
Oh yeah.
I've seen the heck out of this segment.
Yeah, they. So unfortunately, I feel like this. Charlotte came back from her injury, and I feel that she was really trying to put herself out there with the crowd. We didn't know about her divorce with Andrade at this time. So I feel like she came back a certain type of way and was really trying to just be like, hey, I'm back. I really missed you guys. And a WWE fan is a fan to the end and weren't letting her put it over. We started the boos. We started everything. And she had to switch it up and go back to Charlotte Flair like immediately. And she's done that. And I don't know if she's really in the correct mindset to be doing that right now, because for as long as you've been doing this and what you're doing, you really let the crowd get to you on that promo. And she couldn't talk. She kept losing herself. And I was very, very surprised. And then all she resorted to was making fun of Tiffany, which seemed real and made Tiffany pissed off, and get into her personal life, which she was just on a talk show and had mentioned all this stuff of her divorces, people putting her in a league of her dad. Why can't she? Her dad's been married 5 times. She's already at 3. What happened? And she was really crying. These people are real people, and sometimes they forget that. And I think her going and making fun of Tiffany really, poked something in Tiffany. And unfortunately, she went for the stab and the deeper cut and brought up her recent divorce and how many times she's been married. And then we just had Charlotte coming back with Kaiser's in my DMs, which we all knew was not true.
So that was a weakest comeback.
Yeah.
Fire yourself.
So it was crazy. Tiffany needs a little bit more help on the mic. She's still too fresh, I believe. I think her wrestling is good. She was popular very fast. Everybody does love her gimmick and what's going on. She does do good in there, but I feel she does need more of a mic presence, live mic presence, and not her scripted stuff. Charlotte may need a reinvention or to step away for a moment and really get back in tune with herself. You know, things happen and you're not in the right mindset to do stuff, and maybe she's there and just needs that little reset, because I didn't like how she came back right away and they gave it to her.
I think that's what a lot of the fans didn't like either.
I think that's a lot of times. I think that's what they're actually booing.
Yeah, because like she could have just had fun in the lower card, right?
100%, dude.
Get her mind reset, get back into
character
ring
reset
shape.
slightly.
Yeah,
yeah, and that's what I feel happened. That they put her right back, and you kind of, not to say she doesn't deserve it, but you should have had some time. Like you said, build it back up, and somebody else should have been facing Tiffany.
Yeah,
for this, a different storyline, and not her right away. So I think the way that it's played out, it may have gone differently, but I still believe it's going to be Tiffany over Charlotte. And it's going to kind of just, unfortunately, I feel like it's going to go away. That's it. They'll bring in the next. You don't think it's going to go away? No?
Okay. I have very complicated feelings. So let me just go start at the beginning. Charlotte has been a victim of her own great booking. Vince McMahon clearly from the get-go has had this storyline where Charlotte's going to beat her dad's record and has been rushing these championships to her. So for day one, she's always going to get heat because like she's at what, 14? But even when she was getting like,
is she really? Jesus.
Yeah.
It was like at 6, 7, 8, and people are just like, oh, that's right, because of this thing she has to rack up titles. So unfortunately, she has a double-edged sword. Objectively, she's a fantastic wrestler, and I'd even go as far as to say one of the greatest of all time. The problem is that she's booked to be perfect, and we already know she's not. And they booked her where the fans say, when you're at title reign number 3, instead of being in the moment that you're in title reign number 3, everyone in wrestling is going, oh, right, 3 of 16, 3 of 17. Like, we still need 14 more championships, so we need her to drop it a whole bunch more times. So if your road is to get and drop championships, people are just like, it's like watching a movie and you're just waiting for the end. You're just
it's predictable.
Yeah, and also like some of her championships are meaningless. She lost.
That's what I'm saying. It's garbage.
In a day.
Yeah, that, to me, I'm like, that's not a title. Like, that's garbage. I'd write that one right off. Like that.
It's weird. And so what happened was, and then also some of wrestling is real life, and I think you improv a little bit because you want it to be real. There was a backstage interview with Tiffany and Charlotte, and then Charlotte decided to go real. And Tiffany, being new, was not used to that. And I think what happened was Ludwig took her aside and said, we're going to prepare you for the next one. So here are your notes. And you could bring up this. Like, I thought genius, my first move, I would have said, if I were to go off script, I would have said, it doesn't matter what you do, you'll never be over with them. And first thing that came out of Tiffany's mouth. And I was like, 100%. She's, and the Chicago crowd ate her up. Charlotte made 2 mistakes. When she came back and won the Rumble, that might have been a booking decision. I wouldn't have had her even return to the Rumble.
Nope.
I wouldn't even have had her in the Rumble. Personally.
No.
But I know they needed it to set up the Tiffany match, right? Everyone, because Charlotte's coming back, she has to have a WrestleMania storyline. I guess they were like, yeah, let's put her with Tiffany because Tiffany doesn't have a story. And then people make jokes about grandmother versus granddaughter match. And then I mean, who gets that much work done to look 10 years older? I mean, I'm being honest. But the thing that Charlotte did, I think that was her first mistake, is when she was trying to be a face and she was trying to talk to the crowd, and they started, like, they kind of were turning on her a little bit, and she went, no, you guys don't understand. Don't ever correct the crowd if you're the face. Don't tell them they don't.
That's a heel move.
And you're like, oh, well, you're done there. So she got cooked righteously. And then they went, well, if you're going to start saying those things, let's at least start positioning you that way. And it made more sense because Tiffany was getting over as a face, despite being a brat. I think there was a way for Tiffany to have been a brat and stayed on script. But I think she did her research and said, oh, Charlotte's having this selfish moment. In wrestling, you give receipts. So I'm going to give my first receipt. So she really went in on her. I think using the crowd as a buffer was amazing. That was so smart. Charlotte did not know how to handle the crowd. It definitely didn't make her look like a queen at all.
Nope.
And in fact, I would be laying into that. I would have been like, you're the queen of insecurity. You're the queen of failure. You're the queen of excuses, but you're not the queen of wrestling because this thing makes me the queen of wrestling. I think Charlotte's thing, I feel like her next step, I don't even know how to get her over. I know Vince Russo says something about Andrade should be in the storyline and make it real life. I think that would be a mess.
No, but that's very Russo. That's a very Russo booking. You should shut up with this.
Charlotte clearly suffers from mental health.
Of course.
And
she shouldn't be wrestling right now.
She clearly suffers from mental health. The last time she got a pop was when her and Becky Lynch hugged.
Yeah.
At War Games. Because that's the only thing I feel like that would get her over at this point would have been like a tag team situation with Becky and them working on their frustrating friendship, right? I think going into that would have been a much more natural avenue for her to get faced and be perceived as a face, as seeing she and Becky as imperfect people finding their way back to one another. And it's a storyline that I think fans would enjoy. And it would be a natural thing. And then she doesn't have to carry everything by herself. She has Becky to lean on. And the awkwardness of their past makes great storylines. And they're both clearly have had discussions and they're past it. And they're both champions and they're both Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers. But Charlotte definitely has mental health problems right now. The only thing I could see for her at this point, I would honestly hope she loses. I hope she doesn't sandbag Tiffany and go, well, if I'm losing, I'm going to give the worst WrestleMania performance. I mean, we'll see what happens because
she's not doing herself service if she does that too, though.
100%. If she's self-destructing right now, she might not.
Everyone's going to see it, and it's like, this is not good.
That's the biggest intrigue for me this entire match is if Charlotte will start sandbagging her. I mean, last time she tried to do it with Nia Jax, man, Nia gave it to her, man. Yeah. But she woke her up. She lit her up. But the thing that I think that's next for Charlotte, if it might be personally, now that there's a Queen of the Ring tournament, I feel like Charlotte should get to the finals of the Queen of the Ring. Somebody beat her in the finals and just start dragging her for you're the queen of what? Like, I feel like that could be her next storyline that's at least goes along with her gimmick and her finding her way back into her confidence. But I mean, you can see it, like Charlotte's in a rough space right now. And it's unfortunate because she's a victim of her years of booking where people don't care because everyone's written her off as like, well, she's going to beat Ric Flair's record. So every championship's meaningless because it's part of an overall storyline that's being force fed to them. I think Charlotte has a really long career ahead of her and she did not need to be racking them up that fast. And she could still do it, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I don't even care. I think it's more interesting that John Cena breaks the record than Charlotte. 100%. So I think the moment Charlotte passed Trish, I think we're good. That being said, I don't know. I just feel like Charlotte's in a bad place right now. I think she needs to make sure she's talking to someone professional and that if I got heated and I was Tiffany Stratton, honestly, I would have pulled Charlotte aside, sat down with her in front of management, apologize, and go, look, let's just have a good match. Let's see if there's a way to salvage this where we can kind of keep the heat. But very true. But everything consensual. Anything that comes out of our mouths is consensual. No more sandbagging, no more surprises. I really do want to put on a good program with you. And if you need help, like, get that help. But there's got to be a way to salvage it, but you got to be a professional at the end of the day. Because we know forever Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss could not stand each other, and they had great matches. And both of them said, oh, yeah, in real life, they hated each other.
I had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're professionals.
Well, that's what they both said. So they go, we're in a match. Yeah. Like, our boss is watching us. Like, you're going to be professional.
Absolutely. It's like, we're on the clock. Mm-hmm. We have to perform. The audience are watching. The bosses are watching. We can not like each other, but we still have to respect each other in this ring. This is it's a performance. So no.
But I'm just weird because Charlotte's prone to that emotional outburst like Ric Flair. So I'm just curious if like something's gonna happen.
She needed a break from this, bro.
She needed a mental break.
The thing with Charlotte too, like the last time she was on TV, she lost to Rhea Ripley in another title match, and now she's already back in the title match as well, which is like just builds on that.
It was too quick. It was too quick too. Like again, like okay, cool, she's back, great. Did you need to rush her to this at all? Nah, dude. And the crowd speaks up, man.
Yeah, and like even as Augie was saying with her early title wins, like she won titles so often to where like it came to the detriment of other wrestlers to now in the point when Mercedes is in AEW, people are complaining that she's winning and like she's holding all the titles. Like she's a good wrestler. Like she should have all those titles, but people just see her as like she wins and then loses the next day because of trashy fucking Vince booking, which was awful.
Well, I feel like Mercedes is a different animal. I feel like this is my opinion on that. Mercedes is amazing.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe said that like she might be the best counter wrestler in all of wrestling, and I'm not going to disagree with that. I actually think she's amazing. My issue with Mercedes is that when you win multiple championships, it means you can carry extra workload and keep those championships. The only reason I don't like her as having 4 belts is because she's only on one show.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem.
If she was on one show a week and it was like title reign, title match, and she's defending each one,
it needs to be more consistent. It's like cool, you're holding the belts, but it means nothing at that point. Yeah,
it makes all the belts look heavy, and you're juggling these heavy responsibilities. But if you have 4 titles and you're only defending one on one show, then it's like the other 3 are just props, and that's the only issue that I have. Like even Stephanie Vicaire dropping the NXT Women's North American Championship made no sense to me. I would rather her just keep going double time and her losing the title from burning out. Because then you still got respect on your plate. You know what I mean?
That also makes more sense. It's like, you lost because you're doing so much.
You're taking on so much.
Yeah. Which is great because it shows you can actually handle it to an extent, but your body's gonna break down a little bit. It's that simple.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Lance Storm did it really well back in WCW when he had multiple belts, but you always felt like he was in a championship match and everything was kind of like at him, hit him.
He's also very, very good.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. But that's what leads to that. You know what I mean?
Yes,
but that pedigree leads to those opportunities. But with Mercedes, if you're scared that she's going to lose, you're just going to make her wrestle once a month and only defend one of those belts.
What's the point of having all the belts?
Yeah, and also you don't get to. She's putting herself over, but she's not getting women's wrestling over.
Exactly.
Which is kind of what she wanted, right? But who knows?
Well, it's kind of going against it right now, at least by the looks of things.
Yeah, and the thing with Tiffany and Charlotte is like Charlotte started it, so I have no problem with Tiffany finishing it.
Absolutely.
I'm with
you. I'm with you there.
That's a receipt.
Yeah.
I wish she didn't roll out of the ring. That's the only thing I wish she didn't do that.
Yeah, I hope Tiffany wins. I don't want another Charlotte title reign. She
that'll last for a week or whatever garbage.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like you're saying, right, Chamba? I mean, the Raw after WrestleMania is huge.
She could lose it. It's like great, but that's gonna count.
Yeah.
That's gonna count as a title. So
exactly.
She's that
so
much
she has the number.
Didn't she win and lose the championship to Bayley and Money in the Bank like one day?
Yeah, it was. That's why I'm like that.
Yeah. Bayley
that shouldn't count. That shouldn't count then.
But like, didn't Charlotte have the belt for only a few minutes?
But that's what I mean. That
shouldn't
count.
She
that's
defeated
garbage.
Natasha.
That's
garbage.
W's a W.
Yeah, Tiffany has all the momentum.
I know.
Yeah. But that's the thing. If they take it away from her, it's like cool. You're taking it away. You're taking this momentum away from her so that you can give an extra title to Charlotte now. I'm good. Don't do that.
But my thing is this: like Vince always wrote very badly. I felt like for the women. So I feel like with Charlotte coming back, they could have made this like, okay, let's actually sit down and figure out how to rewrite you.
Unless this is part of the actual story. That's the thing. I don't know what is being. We don't know.
So thrown. Only because Charlotte looks so thrown, it doesn't feel like it's part of the story because she looks like she's losing control. And I don't think she's a great actress. I think that
she's not very good.
She's legitimately being thrown. Yeah. And I think she needs coaching in that aspect or like a refresher in that aspect. And I honestly think a lot of her confidence is fake.
Yeah.
And
she's putting a face.
Yeah. Which one? She's had about 7.
I know, but
Good.
it's one of them.
But that's what I'm saying. Do you see how the easy heat you can get? Like that's like there's so many ways you can get into Charlotte.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can have Charlotte bounce back from that or be Kevlon, but she doesn't know how to be Kevlon because we could tell she suffers with her mental health. So I think the thing to do right now is if she can't play a convincingly confident character on TV, pull it back.
She needs to be pulled back. Absolutely.
Yeah, just like let her get her head right. And even you can even play a storyline into that. Like be like, hey, Charlotte, you've never been at the bottom of the card. Let's put you there and have her just like whoop everybody and get back.
They could also send her to TNA.
They could.
Yeah, they have a bunch.
She could win the title there.
Hey, she could be the queen. She could be the queen of TNA.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather have Charlotte as champion than freaking Tessa Blanchard right now, dude.
Charlotte versus Tessa would be so interesting.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think just as a fun match. And then like I said, they could do a really fun thing with her. I think they could do a really fun thing with Queen of the Ring next year.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. It's going to be an interesting match.
Yeah,
The outcome. The outcome. Are they going to be real and we're going to see a cat fight in the ring, or are they going to be professional? And we'll see what happens.
That referee is going to be busy.
Oh my God! Yeah,
yeah.
The thing will be to watch the ref. Yeah, they're going to be pulling straws in the back for that one. So
I'm just wondering if there's going to be interference with that one.
Very, very interesting. We'll have to see. Yeah, the surprise guest, right, Chamba?
Yeah, like Nia Jax goes in. She's like, I have issues with both of you.
Yeah,
we'll see. Yeah,
such a girl.
Ludwig
be like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In other news, Ludwig Kaiser is going to have a face pop.
Another title one, the Gunther versus Jey Uso, which is a lot of people. This is like split down the middle. A lot of people on social media feel like Jey doesn't deserve it. I'd have to. I don't know.
I never get that. Like
they're saying
it's
that
like
he's just
because if you ask him, it's like why? It's like because I'm like,
yeah,
that's not a good reason, dude.
And I do feel that he does deserve it.
Yeah,
I think his gimmick has gone very well. And he's tried, dude. Evil Diva showed me one from the beginning of him and Jimmy, of him actually trying to start that Yeet, like years and years and years ago.
I remember, yeah.
Yes,
I remember.
And
that.
he's tried it.
He's tried it and it didn't get over.
Exactly. Yeah. And now you're over. And you're building your storyline, and you've been working at it as you've gone along. So this last one with the whole, that was crazy. I got to admit. So I'm going to say something that may not be popular, but I do not like Gunther. I understand where he came from and everything.
He's playing his role then, mate. He's playing his role.
I'm about to say the opposite.
I know. And I don't like him. And I'm always like, why does Triple H love him so much? Why? This dude just slaps you on the chest. And that's it.
Hound's ready to talk. Look at him.
I know, but I would have to say you're gonna go last on this one. But I feel that I don't know. Triple H puts him a little too over, and I'm not a fan of Gunther. I am a fan of Jey though. I hope it's going to be Jey, and I hope it plays out as a great go down in history match because. This story and the way they've done it, this last one with him beating up Jimmy and the blood, we haven't had blood play in a long time. It's come back a couple weeks now. But Gunther stood there and wiped it on his chest and then licked it after, right?
Oh, he smothered it all over him.
He did, but then he still licked it. He literally licked it and is looking like, I was like, oh, this son of a bitch, wow. Okay.
I would have been like, you're clean, right?
Yeah, I know. Like, oh my God. So it was there. And then for this last interaction of them, Jey just like knocked the mic out of his hand and said, I'm a different person. Okay, cool. We got the buildup now. So I hope it's Jey. I hope we get one of those emotional wins. And I hope that you throw out the storylines and everything. And I hope the family is able to come out and give him his respect. They have a lot of family that's in this business, and we'll see what happens. Like, I wouldn't mind that at all.
Family come out?
Look at Matt says, do you know how long that's going to take? Everybody,
65 cousins, 45 brothers.
That'll be half the entire Mania.
It will. It will.
Like, why is Solo Sikoa there?
Okay, so Matt, how do you feel?
I wasn't really I wasn't a fan of this last promo with Jay because I felt like if he was really, really pissed off at Gunther, he wouldn't be like just like holding the microphone and then just being like, "Yo, crowd, chill with the yeet," you know?
Yeah.
They kept saying yeet, and he was like, "Yo, chill." But like
he was,
because I couldn't take him seriously when he did that, and then I'm like, if you're really angry, you wouldn't just you would have just gone into a brawl right there, right?
Yeah.
I don't know where Gunther goes after Mania because it's like, who are you gonna build up? They haven't really built up anybody for Gunther to go against after Jay. Like, I don't see Gunther going against anybody from that Fatal 4-Way match because they're all heels.
Yeah,
that's true.
Right.
Braun is a tweener, and like
he is to me. Braun is a tweener. That's why I was like, they could a Braun and versus Gunther would be fantastic.
It would be great, but then
it's like where does it lead to, right?
Yeah,
it'd just be a great match, but then what is it?
I think Jay is gonna. He's lost 3 times. If he loses again,
it's done. There's no point.
All credibility of Jay.
Absolutely.
Right. I don't think he could lose again, and then like unless he turns heel, but I doubt they turn him heel too.
No,
because
don't turn him heel.
He's got like LA Knight. He still gets over. Yeah. So I say Jay's taking this. Finally wins.
Chamba.
I think Jay's gonna take this. And I know you said you're not a fan of Gunther. Gunther's fantastic. He plays that role very, very well.
You're right.
To the point where obviously you're like, I don't like him. It's like then he's doing his job.
Well, you don't like
really
Rocky 4?
Yeah. I think Gunther is that type of wrestler where a title isn't necessary for him. He is just that he can just be that guy that is like, he knows where he's at. The belt means nothing. The actual title means nothing. It's just something that he holds at this point. It's like, cool. You can look at the belt. It's like, Jay's got the belt. Doesn't matter. He can still say I'm the better one, and people be like, he is still better, whether or not he's got the belt or not. But I do want Jay to win. I think for Mania it'll be massive pop for him, and he's also great in the ring. That's the thing. It's like a lot of people's like when people go, he's not deserving of this. I'm like, but why? It's like because he's over because of Yeet, and I'm like, you can't just give that to anybody. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one could just be that. That's the thing. It's like he's over because of that. Yeah, he put it over. And they're with him as part of it. You take that away from him, it's no longer him. But you can't give that to somebody else and expect the same amount of actual crowd cheer. So, it'd be great. It'd be great if Jay wins. But yeah, if he loses, then what then at that point,
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure they've got some stuff written, obviously. They plan ahead, but I as a watcher of this thing, I'm like, what could you do with Jay's role if he loses this? And also Gunther. What if he wins? Okay, now what?
Yeah.
Now what? Yeah.
All right. Hound?
I don't know.
Massive hot take here. I love Gunther. I've been a fan of him since 2018. I feel like he's consistently one of the greatest wrestlers, and I'm happy that Triple H is pushing him to the moon. Like his Intercontinental reign was amazing, and his world title one hasn't been that cooking so far. The shit with Damian was weird, and then
that was weird.
With like Drew and the thing with Jay too, like with the multiple matches, the fact that like Jay had a match against Gunther the week or two before Rumble, and then Jay wins the Rumble and then challenges Gunther for
it's weird. It's like you just had a match.
Yeah, like I've already seen this match. I don't want to see it again. Like I don't mind rematches in wrestling, but it needs to be a specific type of match. If like the first match was like really, really good, then but like I feel like Jay. I like Jay, but I feel like he's much better as a tag wrestler than he is as a singles guy.
Gunther would agree with you.
Yeah, and
how do you?
I like the Yeet stuff. It's fun, but I feel like he's mostly over just for his entrance. It's like I don't want to I feel like he's a end the bell rings type of wrestler. He's good, but I feel like you could have put someone else in there against Gunther, and it would be a much better match, I feel like. And I'm sure this match will be good, but I've just already seen it. I hope Gunther wins. I don't want Jay to win. I mean, if he wins, it'll be fine. But I feel like Gunther should win.
Hater.
Jay's probably gonna win because then the whole like main event Jay Uso thing will kind of just not. I don't know, but yeah, that's my hot take.
Okay,
very
the ring general, baby. Let's go.
All right, Augie. Why is Gunther so good?
Okay. So I said this to Ernie last week. So I said I don't get Jey Uso. That's my hot take. I'll say this: he's undeniable. Like we were talking about that earlier. Somebody equated him to being like a modern day Jeff Hardy, and I thought that was a really good analogy. How like the music just pops. It doesn't matter how much I'm like, oh, like, wait, who was it? Carmelo Hayes said, I could beat the Usos. I could reverse all 4 of their moves. I mean, we're already jokingly calling this the chop versus super kick match. But when objectively, as somebody who's like, whatever, on Jey Uso, when his music comes out and he comes out and the whole crowd is doing it, even the way Netflix shoots that live in the arena, he's over. He's over. And I think this is the thing. I would not care about him at all if not for the fact of the entire bloodline stuff they put him through all like the last, year and a half, 2 years. He's had tremendous amount of character growth. And the whole point was he already did this story and he didn't beat Roman Reigns. I think to have this whole storyline go on again and he doesn't beat Gunther would not make any sense. I really, at first, I thought this pairing was a little strange. I was like, Gunther's going to have to carry him. One thing I really liked what Gunther said that I felt really hit it home, because when I think of Gunther, I think of legitimacy. Like my dad is a very weird wrestling fan. Like he just like, the referee's so fake. How does he miss everything? Like my dad's not super into like the flipping wrestlers anymore. It's too much of an entertainment kind of an aspect. And Gunther did this thing where he called Jey Uso a mascot. He's like, I'm a wrestler. You're a mascot. I wrestle. You dance for these people. And I was like, that's a great way to show their differences. And I thought that the stage was set for a really interesting opposite force. It's that old school, what we used to say was a wrestler versus a sports entertainer. And I felt like WWE is doing their version of that feud. And I think it's fantastic. On paper, I think it's amazing. Gunther, I think, has had matches where like my dad would watch it and go, okay, I'm watching this again. Like he would pretend he's not interested and then he'd find himself sitting on the couch. Put on any NXT UK match or WrestleMania, I think when he wrestled
Sammy
Dragunov.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's a good one.
Tyler Bate. Like a lot of that stuff is like, oh my gosh, like these men brutalized each other, and Gunther is who he is because he's literally like a bear. Like,
yes,
you know what I mean? Like,
I feel like when Gunther lost the weight though, to me that power felt like that. It doesn't feel as strong. Yeah, it doesn't feel as strong as it used to be. It felt so much weightier. Yeah, that's the size. Like it also like his look now. I'm like, dude, your jacket looks like it's big. It's too big for you right now. That's what I mean. Like I'm like, it's right. And I was like, it's weird. Like when he was larger, I'm sure health wise, it's probably way healthier now, and it's probably for the better. But the character almost shifted because of the loss of weight. And I was like, whenever he does the hits, it looks hard, but I'm like, it looked way harder then.
Yeah,
somebody in the chat.
That Walter had that aura about him.
That's what that's right. It was that presence that he had, and now it's like it feels like
big. It's that larger than life that you get out of a wrestler.
That's why I don't lose weight.
It feels like it feels like it was lacking now though. When he lost it, I was like,
yeah.
I would lose it. You know,
Ernie needs the aura, baby.
Yeah, I don't want everybody to say, you know, behind my back of, I miss Fat Ernie. You know, so
it's like Ernie lost his aura. What's going on?
Get him a beer. But like with Walter, I guess that's a good way to put it, right? We'll say Walter versus Walter. Yeah. There is a kind of a bigness and an aura that's lost like the bigness that when you see a wrestler, how when you're a kid, a wrestler feels like a giant. There's like a giant over the topness that's now missing with Walter, even though Gunther is healthier now. Is exactly what you're saying, that there's like, I feel like he's done a good job at maintaining the through line that like he's a serious wrestler and it's tied into his health. But I think you're right. Maybe like a wardrobe change or something that kind of reflects
that's the thing. Like it was like it's like it's his next form, but he looks weaker, if that made sense.
Yeah.
It's like he lost visual power.
Someone in the chat said that he sort of fills the space that Brock Lesnar used to have, and I think that's a really great analogy. I think you need someone who's sort of like, I'm talking about like a legitimacy, because the fact Brock Lesnar was in and out or whatever, like when he showed up, you're like, okay, but he's a real athlete. Like he's a former UFC champion, NCAA champion. He's legit. And they call him like a one in a lifetime. Walter was almost like the Brock Lesnar of Europe. Like he was just so like there was big and he was legit and he was tough. And you felt like when he lost, man, you earned it. Like Ilya Dragunov had broken blood vessels up, down, left, right, like everywhere all over him was just like red. And he looked like he died after he won the belt. And you were like, are you sure you won? Because I'm not. So that said, I feel like because Jimmy already doing this whole storyline with Roman and then losing, helping put Roman over, but somehow he still managed to get elevated despite losing and developing this underdog kind of a thing. And then the Yeet movement, now he's like stupidly over with the crowd, right? And then you have Gunther calling him a mascot. You're not a real wrestler. You're a really good tag team wrestler. Like all those little digs. I think despite the fact that he's losing, I sort of like that whole like, dude, just one more time. And I thought the stuff with Jimmy with the blood and stuff really intensified the storyline where it needed to go. It was kind of like when like Trish and Becky were kind of like, what's going on there? And then they do the cage match. You're like, oh, never mind. That was amazing. I feel like this is what I'm hoping this will be. Like, it was kind of like what's going on. And then I felt like the whole blood stuff with Jimmy, I was like, okay, now it's back in place. Now this is where we need it to go. They've raised the stakes. It's a lot more serious. I even like the part where when he tripped flipping over the ropes in a botch spot. Like, I liked how they used that in storyline, that they had him trip on a spear the next week. Yeah. And I was like, dang. And then of course in my head I go, wait, no, the spear was purposeful. But they're using the botch from the week before to show he has nerves. And I really like that when something like that happens in the ring, creative will go, great, let's use it. Because that's how it is in theater. In live theater, I have an acting background. When things like that happen in a live theater setting, you use it. You're nervous, you use it. Everything you use it. Like because as long as you're keeping it organic to you, every choice is a good choice. It's all about which choice is the most interesting. So I thought even him having tripped on the spear, it was a little beat, but I was like, that was a perfect storyline beat for the next part of the story.
Continue. Right.
He's getting nervous. It's getting closer to WrestleMania and his nerves are on display. I love that they used it. And I was like, you know what? I know that was a botch last week, but this is how you make use of it. And I was really impressed with the storytelling. And then that slap that Jimmy gave.
Oh my God. What happened there?
That was, well, I'm sure Gunther's like, just hit me as hard as you can.
That was just, but dude, that was, the slap heard around the world.
This is a great way to use your hand. You get really good sound.
That was amazing. That was such really an shit moment. Like,
So, that said, so I think the match will be really good. I think, Gunther will break. I think Jace is going to work really hard. You know what I mean? Because I always feel like whenever somebody beats Gunther, it's 100% earned. And they always look a mess when they win. And like I said, Jay just did this storyline with Roman. If he does this with Gunther and loses again, like, it's like, what are we doing? And at this point, he's so over. On his own. And I feel like before it was all about the bloodline. It's clear Jay's over without it now. And he's a character where you're not going, oh, here comes nepotism, Rikishi's kid.
It's long past the nepotism aspect. It's like the bloodline storyline proved that it's like, especially breaking away from there. Yeah, he's no longer riding on supposed coattails of the bloodline. I know people this is just from the bloodline. I'm like, Did you not watch the Bloodline? He was an integral part of it. Like all of them were.
The
So
Bloodline was objectively a good story, whether you nepo it or not. It was
exactly.
It was the storyline in all of wrestling.
I mean, in all fairness, like the whole aspect of Bloodline is part it has to be nepotism, right? It's a family story. So yes.
And also, if you're stuck with this storyline, wouldn't you want it to be good? And it was good. So it's like. Right. Like at least let them go if it's gonna be good. Like I understand you complaining about Nepo stuff if it's bad, but it was good.
Yeah, if it's bad, yeah, that's the one that you complain about.
It'd be different, but Charlotte's really good. It's like that's the catch-22.
Charlotte's good, but storyline right now it's like stop it.
Terrible. That's what I'm saying.
Like
she has a bad storyline, but she's a good wrestler. They just don't know what to do with her. Nepotism is fine if you're using it the right way. Like Vicky Guerrero would never have had a job if Eddie wasn't her husband.
100%.
But she got over. You know what I mean?
Dom wouldn't be where he is. It's part of the story. I still think
the one beat that they could have done with Dom that I thought would have been really funny, not to go on a tangent again, but if he changed his name to Dominic Guerrero.
I thought that was going to happen, but I was like... There's some lines. I'm sure there's some lines where I'm like, yeah, that's playing a character is one thing, but we don't need to do this.
That would have been fun. Anyway, I do think Jey Uso will win.
Yeah. I will say that like this past like week when like Gunther like just like locked up Jimmy on the rope, Jay on the ropes, and was just beating up Jimmy, and like he had the blood like that made me more excited for this match.
Yes,
I just locked in like okay. Gunther's a real one. Let's go. They are cooking now, so that
Olga brought up the point where it's like Jay keeps coming back, and that's like, why would you keep coming back after continuously getting beaten? Because it's like, yeah, he's working he wants this. So that's why I'm like, the crowd is backing him. He's like, just if they don't give it to him at this point, not because it's like, let's finally give it to him. He's worked his ass off to try and get to this point. He's gonna show that effort in this match. This match is not gonna be half-assed from both of them. I'm hoping that's not the case. But again, it's Mania. Why would you half-ass a Mania?
Well, match? I mean, his last year his match with his brother was not cookout, dude.
But I mean, I think because that one was kind of like a dream that they wanted to do, and maybe they didn't take it as seriously as they should.
I think they didn't get enough time. I think they were mad because they didn't get the time.
And then I think this one is like it's literally the most important match Jay has ever had. So I don't think it's a different thing than like wrestling against your brother.
It'll be the biggest yeet.
The twin matches are always come up kind of bad.
I don't like them. Yeah, they're usually like, can I skip this?
Why do we skip it? That's your bathroom break. Your reheating of your pizza. And...
Augie versus Junior. It's like
he would cook. Junior and I would tear. We're like, everyone's watching us. You are throwing me over this beam. Let's go.
It's just a debate.
Junior will bump like a mofo.
All right.
So we're gonna have cornhole at the next Toy Migos meetup, and we'll do Augie versus Junior. We'll get a ring and everything. So you guys start buying your tickets now for the next Toy Migos meetup. It's gonna be awesome.
Let's go pre-order $1,000.
Yeah, Junior can get under my skin. Junior can cut a pretty devastating promo.
You can take your chair with you too.
Oh yes,
back to the rental company.
I believe I won from No Mercy 99.
Yeah,
or No Mercy 2000. Wait, No Mercy 99.
Nice.
That was good. Yeah, I get the chair.
All right, so we're coming into that's going to be a main one, and now we have the women's title on the other end, and this three-way Tamir has happened very weird. I didn't know why we took it away from Mommy on a TV program that just happened that like shocked everybody, and then we had Bianca win, and then the whole Naomi story, and that was happening, and then we keep having the disrespect shown to our champion now, and then it was really weird when it went that Mommy came down and she grabbed that contract and signed it, where he even said, he's like, what are you doing? Like, you put yourself in the show. And then it was like the story had come up. I felt like if she had like was too into the moment and had just did it or something, like, I don't know. I feel this three-way storyline is weird. I don't understand why we switched it took it away and why there has to be a 3-way to begin with. And I don't know the outcome of this one at all.
Who do you want to win, though?
I really like when Rhea has the belt. I think she's a great face for the company. She's great with the fans. She does a lot of behind the scenes moments, meet and greets, and the kids like her a lot. Even stepping away from Judgment Day, and her storylines have been okay, but she's still a very popular character, and I do like what she does in the ring. I feel that she could face anybody, and so I would like to see her have it back. I didn't understand why we gave it away, but at the same time, I think Io is amazing too. Like, she's a great wrestler. She really is. And if we're going off the respect lines, like if she just dominates in this one, I'm happy with that too. But I felt like there was all these other storylines going on, and then all of a sudden you just jumbled this one together. So I don't know. I feel really weird about this match. I mean, what do you guys think? I really kind of all over the place. You want what?
I want Io to retain. Since she was signed to WWE, I was like, finally, because she's hands down easily one of the best wrestlers in the ring, regardless of male or female. So, thing is, like, sure, she doesn't need a title essentially, but I'm glad they gave it to her because it's showing. To me, sometimes the title is like, cool, this is our way of saying thank you for everything that you've actually done for this. The industry, for the actual company and whatnot. Personally, I think Io should win. It's the whole aspect of her being disrespected by the two of them. It makes it even more. So I'm like, oh, I want her to like show them why she's actually the champion. They're all great. That's the thing. But I've always been a massive fan of Io, and she's so good in the ring. So good in the ring.
Yeah, I feel like I'm on the same with Ernie. Like, I feel like this has been really confusing as well. I feel like
storyline is weird.
This match should have been Rhea and Bianca as just like a regular just singles matchup. I feel like, and I feel like they really want to get Io on the card, but they didn't know how. And like, I love Io show. I love this all that. Yeah. I loved all the stuff she did in NXT. She's amazing. As Shampa said, she's one of the best in the world. Her moonsaults are the best, and
so good.
And like it's common because like, I'm not complaining. Like, I love her, and I'm happy she has the match on the card. It's just like the way they went about it, and I do like the because like you need surprises on TV. So I do like that she did defeat Mommy on a random wall. I thought that was awesome.
I loved it.
Yeah, I fully expected Rhea to win that match. I was like not even paying that much attention to her because I knew, oh, Rhea's gonna win. It was obvious. But then Io won. It's like, what? So,
and she's fantastic with the belt.
Yeah,
I know some folks in the chat are like, it's nice to it's better with Rhea holding. It's like, because you're more used to it. You've seen her hold it longer, and I'm like, that's cool. So time. So does that mean it's great when Charlotte holds the belt because she's held it so long? No. Yeah. Dude, sometimes these new ones are better. Like, give him a chance at the very least. Like, she hasn't had it long enough for you to even see her actual reign with it.
Has she even defended it?
No,
hasn't had a chance to. This is basically
no.
Was
it on Raw?
When, Bianca was the ref.
Referee.
The stuff keeps happening to the storyline.
Right, that's the thing. Like, it's never a clean.
Yeah, it's not. It hasn't been that match to say, oh, right. She retained. There it is, the 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So yeah, it's.
I want to see a clean match with it, and because she can do it. You know she can do it.
Yeah. And you're right. You're right, Sean. Because that was me. I was just saying, well, Rhea has the face and everything, and yes, Io is amazing and her talent. And I feel that to put everybody else over on it, she would have to dominate that match, which she can.
Oh, easily.
She could. Yes. Yeah.
Easily. That's the thing, though. Like, it depends on what story they plan on telling. Is the thing.
It's just so weird because I don't know what the story is.
I don't know what the story is either. So it's like, this is the one where I'm like, why is this happening?
Because then
like,
too, it was Look, I can't even remember the name. Hound, what's their group?
Damage control.
Damage control.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, Damage Control.
I love
and she hasn't. I do too, but what's her name? They've only been showing her in the back, like Augie was talking about, is those camera scenes.
Yeah,
she hasn't been out there.
Dakota's injured, and Kyrie.
Dakota's injured. Kyrie
is Dakota injured again?
I think so, yeah.
So yeah, I know Kyrie was, but she's like recovering and stuff now.
I know Kyrie is, but I think Dakota is. I might be wrong.
I know Dakota had something of a concussion.
Yeah, that might be it.
From what's her face? Zoe Stark missile drop kicking her with a missile. That was insane.
I hope Mommy wins though. I've been a fan of her since her NXT UK days. She's amazing. I'll be happy with anyone winning this match. She's kind of like the new Taker, where she has a streak. I don't know if any guys have noticed, but like every Mania match she's been a part of, she's never lost. So I can easily see her winning. Huh?
Bianca?
Yeah, Bianca. She has not lost at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Okay. How many has she wrestled? How many Manias has she wrestled?
I think her first Mania match was against Sasha at 33, and then Charlotte at the next one, and then.
So does that? What's her current streak of it?
I think it might be 3 or 4. But I can see either of these 3 women winning, but I want it to be Rhea.
Okay. All right. How do you feel, Augie?
I agree with you guys that the story has been really uneven. I think for a while they've been wanting to do Rhea versus Bianca. I think the concern that they had is that it has to be a title match. And I think they were like, okay, well, we need something in time for WrestleMania. And at the time, Bianca was still stupidly over as that rare natural babyface for the longest time. And Rhea is a babyface. I think they thought that there needed a reason for there to be friction, and they needed something to do with Io Sky. So I think that's why she was brought in as the third element. And then the idea on paper is the fact that Rhea has never beaten Io adds a wrinkle to it, right? And Io has been, I think she was in a triple threat with Rhea and Charlotte, and Io won in the NXT. So she's been unbeatable when it comes to Rhea. And then also, if you're going to lose to anybody, why wouldn't it be like at one point the best wrestler in the world? Like Io was ranked as like the best wrestler in the world.
Yeah.
I think they knew she would be solid as adding it to the mix, and then the idea would be to cause friction between Bianca and Rhea so that the good girl versus good girl goes right out the window. And I think they've done a really good job in that aspect. But one thing I really like that they've been doing is that Io a lot of times comes out on top because they are undermining her. And she's like, oh, no, I'm holding. My God, that drop kick to Rhea's back on Monday.
That was crazy.
I was like, oh, Rio died right before WrestleMania. That's
cool. My girl.
That was some whiplash. I was like, oof, thank God Rhea's sprung.
And they said that she got checked out as of today, and she's clear for Mania because that she did hit her head against Bianca pretty hard.
I'm sure
and her previous injury they were worried about.
Yeah, because I know that usually when things like that are happening, they don't show Bianca's face because I'm sure Bianca's like, here she comes. But because you could see Rhea was like face to face with her, and then right before she gets kicked, she moves her head over to the collarbone because that's what Rhea usually does. She like headbutts the collarbone area. So I think it was meant to look like that. I think she just was not prepared for that sting the way she got hit.
Yeah.
That what I was thinking was going to happen, and lately Kairi Sane has been showing a lot of workout photos, and it looks like
she looks great.
She looks great.
Great.
And also Asuka is famously private, but I think I did read somewhere that she needs much more time than they thought.
She does.
Yeah,
she does. Yeah. Give it the time. Again, some of the like 3 of the best bloody wrestlers, and it's like, I'd
just
watch
that
their
timing,
matches
right?
all day.
Timing. And then Dakota just came back. Dakota had a great IC title match. She's had a great couple matches. What I was thinking was what was going to happen was that Io would retain, and that it would lead to Kairi, Asuka, Io 3-way by SummerSlam.
I want
that. You know what? I want Io to win.
See, House changed his mind now. He's like, that's the bigger picture, bro.
Because I know fans have asked for that for a long time, and people have even said, like, I don't even need it to be a WrestleMania anymore. Because every time SummerSlam comes around, they're always like, Damage Control implosion by SummerSlam. Like the people, because that was the birth of Damage Control, was at SummerSlam as well.
Yeah.
So to have the death of Damage Control,
bookend it
as well. You could book it, or you could do the betrayal at SummerSlam and then have it go into the Survivor Series.
And SummerSlam is now the Summer Mania, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, 2 nights.
So I also this women's world title match is a little bit confusing for me just on the surface because Bianca Belair is a SmackDown superstar.
Well, we should win the chamber.
And they seem
but that's why it's like this match feels like what
weird because it's like, so what, she wins, is she on Raw? Because the whole point of it is it seems like they take these drafts and what brand you're on a little more seriously now. So if she's a SmackDown superstar, I can't see her winning because she would then have to go back to SmackDown with the belt while the women's championship is also on SmackDown.
No, she would just go to Raw because Cody was on Raw, then won the title from Roman, and now he's on SmackDown.
Okay, but then how do you you move Jade too? Because that's got to play.
No, that story would then be done, or she would somehow try to move. Yeah,
I see. Exactly. I don't know that would be done because
not done, as in like it's on hold.
Yeah,
until they can work out a story where she can somehow challenge her back. Yeah, it won't be. Yeah, like you said, it'll be a back burner.
They do draft after Mania, like a week after the Raw after Mania, anyway.
So they could draft it to Raw.
Yeah, because that was the only part that because I know they were doing this whole. Like, I can't believe you did this to Jade, and Jade is in Bianca. Like, well, where were you? Like, you're crappy too. Like, I was just kind of like, oh wow. Like, I kind of like how they're writing people now that they're not idiots. Like if you're hurt and you speak out of pain, like whatever, like I kind of like that. Rhea, my thing is this: if she gets the championship, unless it's something what you guys are talking about, because now I feel like what's happening now is now Rhea versus Bianca has, belt or not, has gotten much more interesting. Like, and wanting to see them go one-on-one.
I feel like a title is not necessary for that.
But here's the thing: I'm not sure about that because I feel like their dream for a while is having the two of them go against each other with a title on the line. I'm not sure that people care to see the two of them go against each other without the belt. I think the belt adds a significance to it. So I think, and then also like you guys were saying that you've enjoyed Rhea with the championship. I think where Rhea has struggled is the fact that she's so stupidly over and people always go, but she doesn't have credible opponents. Like Liv has had to cheat all the time. Like Dominic has to interfere all the time to the point where people were concerned that Liv wasn't being booked strong until the last few times Liv she's pinned Jade Cargill and she's pinned Bianca clean more than once. So now it's like, okay, now you're booking Liv as a top tier wrestler, which is now good and long past due. But people have wanted to see someone that physically looks like she could beat up Rhea. And now they've brought the tension that they didn't have before. So I feel like now that that's in place, we can get that one-on-one. I think people weren't ready before because when they were booking the match, they were both faces. So now with EO being in the mix, it's added tension to make their eventual one-on-one fight more legitimate. I think they've had trouble in creative making it flow, which makes the storyline uneven. But this is going to sound weird, but I've appreciated the effort. Like I see how it's a hard thing to book because it makes no sense. Rhea won nothing, and she gets the title picture, and she lost the belt. And what the only thing they did that made the storyline right for me was they allowed Rhea to challenge EO for the title, get the rematch before WrestleMania. And then I felt like they messed that up with Bianca being the referee. I feel like they shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, 100%.
If Vince were booking this, when Rhea took the contract and signed her name on it, Vince would have been like, "Oh, that makes it legit."
Yeah, 100%.
He never would have done a second contract setting. Like, come on.
Didn't Cena do that
for Taker and Brock? Brock, like I think Taker just signed, like stabbed Brock's hand, and then was like, "Oh, the match is made." So
yeah, like
that before.
That was so dumb.
Who'd you say did it before, Matt?
Didn't Cena do that before also, where he just put his name in the?
He did. That's essentially like what Rhea did was almost like a callback to that.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I thought they were going to do, and then they were going to keep it. When they went, no, it doesn't work like that. I was like, oh wow, common sense. That's cool.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, Vince era is no longer. That's the thing.
That was good.
That was the Vince era thing.
Kevin Owens was talking about that, how common sense now, like kind of, and continuity is important. with them, with the new creative team, which I think is great. You know what? This is really hard. Asuka's apparently still out. I would have said this. I feel like Io could still be the champion if Kairi and Asuka were 100% and then start teasing the descent amongst damage control. But because Asuka's not 100, I can see Rhea winning and that being the thing that makes Bianca snap, because she's like, she wasn't even supposed to be there, because this whole thing that Bianca, her whole through line is that none of this has been fair. And I think Bianca broke last week when she goes, you know what? You keep cheating. You keep saying you're going to, you know what? I don't even care. Now I want you in the match. But I think if she loses, it's going to be like, she's going to have a grievance.
Further there.
And I think the thing is, it's a complicated situation because I think a lot of the crowd will be like, well, Bianca's got a point. Isn't this an earned system? Because Bianca brought it up and she's right. She's like, well, what's the point of the Rumble? What's the point of the Chamber if you're just going to walk right in? Which is what Charlotte does a lot, to be honest. But
she did. Yeah.
Which is why I'm so tired of it. I'm like, this is nonsense. Why did they get like, hey, I got called dibs? What?
Yes. Like, Bianca was getting booed. I was like, yo, why? She's right. Like, I think that's the whole thing, is like, it's that thing when you're like a good guy, but you still annoy people. Like, I think Bianca's starting to go in that route. Like, she's annoying people, but then she's always going to have that faction of fans because they're going to be like, she's right. Because she's right. And then but that's the whole thing, is like, her whole thing is like, no matter what you do, I'm the EST, so I'm going to win anyway. So I think if she does lose, I could see her being like, well, now I'm going after Rhea. And that's a fight people really do want to see. They couldn't do it before with both of them being faces. This chip, you know, Rhea having immature moments and then Bianca having immature moments. Now it's building properly that they can have a one-on-one once Io's out.
Okay.
So I think though, my prediction, I would like Io to win, but because damage control isn't 100%, I think Rhea will win, and Bianca will be pissed.
And continue it there.
Yes.
All right. Matt, who is your pick, real quick?
Real quick, I'm gonna say, because we touched on the whole Bianca having a streak. I think Bianca's gonna win.
Okay. We have different all the way around. That's awesome.
Yeah. I also feel like that way, Rhea will say that she never lost the title fairly to Io, and then also she never really lost it to Bianca, so they can still continue their feud. So that can go into SummerSlam.
So then who do you think will take the pin?
I think Io's going to take the pin.
I hate that.
I think it's just to protect the both of them.
I know, but that's why I'm like, bull. That's cool.
Again,
cool,
weird story.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird story.
It is.
Because at this point,
I like all of our choices because all those stories play in. So,
well, Io's already cemented whether she has the belt or not. She's the first ever Grand Slam champion in 2 promotions.
Yeah, but do they promote it that way? They don't.
No,
no one brings it up. Like, you're the one of the first people who even brought that up. It's like, cool. I'm glad somebody knows.
In America and Japan, yeah.
They don't bloody know that. They're not gonna bring that up. It's like, cool. Yeah, great. I'm glad she's the first one, which is awesome. But they don't acknowledge that stuff in WWE. So
I mean, they are better at it now than previously.
They're not gonna talk about bloody Stardom and stuff like that, though. Yeah. They're better with like the American.
Well, no. Because the guy running Stardom left and decided to mirror go. So yeah, no, they probably
that's why.
But they've been better about mentioning promotions outside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, except for AEW, they do.
Yeah.
No.
All right, Matt. Well, I like your choice. That'd be crazy.
It'll be a fun match, even if the story is weird as shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And something's probably going to happen where it's going to play out right. We're all going to go, oh. Okay. Yeah. And we'll have to see.
In the end, Io's going to get dick, though. That's all that's going to happen. His storyline's going to be messed up.
But talking about storylines and things getting crazy and, oh, wow. Now we have the top 2 ending matches, for this. And this is crazy. We have a 3-way of Seth freaking Rollins, CM Punk, and the Tribal Chief, and no title at all. But
which is good. I love that.
Such big names that you're main
You don't need a
event
title.
WrestleMania, yeah, and we're just going off of story here, and this has been crazy to the favors and to the emotions between Punk and Paul Heyman, and now he wants him in the corner because of that long-lasting story, right? How does the tribal chief feel about that? And then all of a sudden, we get Seth Rollins thrown in with now you owe me a favor, and that's wild. I don't know what that's going to be about, but I feel like this is just going to be a great show. You know, we don't have no titles on the line. The respect of it all. Who's going to end up going after who? And I kind of feel that I think they're going to give it to Punk, and it'll probably be Punk pinning Seth, and Tribal Chief was out somehow. But I think it's going to go on very long, make us entertain the whole time. But I think this is just a sit back and enjoy type of match. You know, that's where I'm going for. Do you guys feel the hype, the excitement?
I want Seth to win.
You want Seth to win it?
I want Seth to win. Yeah.
Wow, you were the first person that I've heard to say Seth.
I do, because it's like, sorry?
He's not going to be the last person, because I want Seth to win also.
Yeah, I want Seth to win. I don't know, like,
what?
Don't get me. Yeah, it's. I think he's deserving of this too. Like, he's showing up all the time, putting on great matches all the time. People tend to overlook him as well. So I don't know, man. I want Seth to win.
I think storyline wise, I think Seth is gonna win because the first Raw, which is probably the biggest broadcast that they've done, Punk went over.
Yeah,
he went over Seth clean.
Okay.
I think they gave that to him, and they're also giving him this Mania main event.
Okay.
So that way Punk will fight for another Mania main event to win at, but he'll
always have it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
he's always wanted to be in the main event. But I feel like Seth, he even said it, like, this is the battle for the soul of the WWE. I think there's gonna be other things playing into this too. Other people and the outcome. Yeah, I definitely think because Roman doesn't need it. He's been in like 11 main events, right?
Yeah, he doesn't need it.
He
doesn't need this win at all. That's the thing.
And I think they needed Roman in the match to make it so that way Punk could be in the main event. And the whole purpose of Punk getting to the main event is like that. Seth doesn't want that to happen, right? And I think he might walk away with Heyman.
That feud is great. That Seth's going to walk away. So he's going to win and walk away with Heyman?
One of those is going to happen.
Shit. Wow.
Because I can't, like, Heyman has been involved with both of them, right? With Punk and Roman. And, like, the whole, like, now you owe me a favor, too.
Yeah.
It's just, like, I feel like Heyman's going to walk away with, he's going to cause Seth to win. Somehow. Maybe pull a few strings with the final boss, you know?
Wow, that's interesting. I like it, though. I do. But that's wild. All right. Hound, how do you feel?
This is very complicated for me because I know I'm wearing a CM Punk shirt. I love CM Punk, but Seth Rollins is also one of my favorite wrestlers ever. I mean, if you can see, I have a whole shelf dedicated to all my Rollins figures and my CM Punk figures all on the same shelf because they're my top two favorites in WWE.
Wow.
I've been a fan of him since his Shield days, and so like I want either Punk or Seth to win. But if I had to pick one, I want CM Punk to win because I've been a fan of him longer since I was like a little baby kid, and it's just I love that he's finally getting his main event after all the shit that Vince pulled with him and promising and give him empty promises and shit, and the whole thing that happened is like last year of his WWE career, and I feel like he does deserve a main event match because he's such a good wrestler too.
Punk?
And, yeah.
You think he won't get it? You don't think he won't get his moment when he wins the championship next year?
I mean, hey, I want that too. Give me everything.
Nah, dude, don't be greedy.
Nah,
You think
greedy,
he's gonna
baby.
get pushed all the way till next year?
And you could bring Punk's AEW's comments what he did to MJF for like, he was like, go ahead, go main event, buy one night for extravaganza or whatever he said, and bring it with Punk here. But definitely interesting to say the least. I want Punk to win. I think Seth could win it as well. Roman better not win. He doesn't need it at all. He's not even there. What would be the point?
Right.
But yeah, I really want CM Punk to win, man. Please, just give me guys the CM Punk main event and that win. Because I mean, CM Punk is older, so who knows how many main event matches he has left in his career. He might be retiring soon. Who knows? I don't know. So I feel like Seth still has the longevity to like he could easily main event WrestleMania for the next 3-4 years, and so that's sort of where I'm going with this. But I'm going with my boy, Straight Edge Society, CM Punk. Let's go.
Wow. All
Now,
right.
how do you have two boys? You know what I mean? Which one is your boy? You can only have one. You can't
All
be CM
of them, all of them
Punk.
are my boys.
Nah, dude.
I can't explain it. You just gotta have that power, baby.
Dude. That's not how it is.
I'm gonna say you can only have one. And that's it. Real quick before we get Augie's take on it. This could be either Matt had to step away for a second, but this could be Hound if you know too. Charles wants to know: is there a Paul Heyman ECW figure?
No. Not from the original Toy Makers. Was it San Francisco Toy Makers or whatever? There wasn't a Paul Heyman figure. I don't think in that line, but in Jack's, yes, I want to say yes, and I think Mattel must have made one.
No, I think Mattel is making one. I think maybe they announced it at Comic-Con.
I feel like I've seen it.
Yeah, me too. I feel like they are making a new one, which
sure
will probably show like a final production at sometime next week during WrestleMania Access that Mattel always has presents for.
Okay.
And yeah, as of right now, there is no Mattel ECW Paul Heyman figure, but yeah.
I mean, it's really popular. I'm sure there will be.
All right.
I do love the thing with the favor as well. With the, I feel like that was like a perfect with Heyman and Punk. Like it's perfect. That is like the best outcome that could have happened. So,
all right. Augie, you're saying Seth too?
Okay, so like I said, I don't watch SmackDown, so I've been missing a lot of the beats of this story. So I do have a question. Because I don't want to repeat something. You'd be like, hey, they already said that on TV. Has CM Punk called in his favor?
Yeah, it's Paul Heyman going
to
be a part of the match at WrestleMania.
No, he's going to be in his corner.
Yeah, in his corner.
So that's the favor.
Yeah.
So he pulled him away from the tribal chief,
right?
And it was a big old thing. And he said, "You're going to be in my corner." And Roman was like, let this fool down easy. Tell him no. And he told Roman no. Yes, I'm going with Paul. And then Monday night is when you saw the Seth said, Paul, I know you've already made your decision, but I'm going to save you and I'm going to take you out of this game. Let me just head stomp you.
Yeah, so that's the part where he went to head stomp him and then he didn't. He was, now you owe me a favor.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, so that's okay. Just because Paul Heyman owes him a favor doesn't necessarily mean he'll go through with it. Seth might call an audible and say, go do my favor. And then Paul could tease it. You know, when someone goes to tease a chair shot and then they go, I can't do it.
Well, yeah.
I think that's what might happen. Because just because you owe someone a favor doesn't mean you have to go through with it. So he might care so much about CM Punk that he's like, you know what? I can't betray him. So I can see Paul Heyman taking a bump at WrestleMania, taking a stomp for saying no to Seth. That's like one scenario that I could see, that he just finishes the job he teased at Raw.
Okay.
Because I just feel like that's just a common sense way to go. Like, just take the bullet. I think it's a really awesome storyline. Has nothing to do with the championship. I think that's really good. I think the reason why Roman Reigns is in it, because one, you got to give him something to do. and you need it to make sense. And he has history with both of them now at this point, especially Seth. And then secondly, you've seen Seth Rollins versus CM Punk about a bajillion times. And I feel like Seth Rollins has jobbed a lot. So I feel like he's owed a dub at this point. And Roman Reigns has had the dub forever. And CM Punk wants to be in the match, but I feel like CM Punk, in my mind, CM Punk would go over if a belt was on the line. The only reason why I think CM Punk won't win is because there is no belt. Because I think you would really want a WrestleMania moment, and I think just being in it is not enough. I could see CM Punk cutting a promo saying, hey, I did it. I made it to the main event, but now I want more. Now I want to be in the main event and get the championship. And I think this might lead to his feud through the summer because he was calling out the bald frauds, John Cena and The Rock. So I think that will start going through that storyline through the summer, I think.
I think I figured out the finish.
Uh-huh.
I think Punk is going to go for the pin over Roman. And Heyman is going to pull a ref. And then Punk is going to be like, what the hell? And then Seth is going to stomp Punk.
I can definitely see that. Yeah.
Because think about it. Like, why would you have Roman in the match other than, okay, we're going to take Paul away from Roman, put him in Punk's corner, but then he's going to walk out with Seth. Because he's always been the front runner. He's always going to go for the next top guy.
You think Paul will swerve and go with Seth?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I almost feel like no, like he accompanies Seth, but shows his loyalty to Roman. But I could still see Seth taking advantage of that and stomping Punk and getting the win, and then maybe even stomping Paul Heyman.
Well, they also brought back the whole thing about like when the new bloodline was, going after Heyman, and Roman wasn't there to help him out.
Right. He didn't come and help. Yeah.
And he also brought up that Seth was the first choice for Survivor Series, not Punk.
Oh, yeah, that Paul called Seth first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That was a point made.
I mean, Paul definitely wanted to have those chess pieces. The only other thing, weird question, is Drew McIntyre injured?
No, he has a match with Damian Priest. I don't know why it hasn't been announced yet.
Okay, I was just wondering where that was because I was going to say, like, if not, he could totally jump into this.
I also feel bad for Randy.
Randy with Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
I hope it's Nick Aldis, but it's probably gonna be like Aleister Black, which I would love as well.
So. Oh, I have a horrible joke with that about Vince being a racist and wanting to. He fires Aleister Black. So yeah, Vince is a racist.
He's so bad.
Booker T.
Yeah. So I think Seth is gonna win.
All right. It's crazy. So 3 Seths.
I mean, clearly we're gonna be entertained no matter what happens because we're already throwing up a whole bunch of scenarios that we're all going, ooh.
This is gonna be the loudest match I think out of all of WrestleMania. Yeah.
This is the match I'm looking forward to the most. Yeah.
I think it's just gonna be really. They're gonna bring out all the stops. The story could give us all these ooh moments. I think this is going to be the loudest one. I do. I mean, there's been a lot of hype over, Cody and Cena, but in all honesty, I haven't felt it. You guys just said written in, like, how Cena just is here for this one. I mean, yes, we got the heel turn, and that's a great story, but I still feel he hasn't played it well. Evil Diva feels like he's fighting to do this bad guy. Like it's so hard for him.
It's not his best work. He's done so much better, better promos as a heel before, but now I think he's like, it's so hard to do it with all these, especially with the global fans,
Yeah, right. And I kept telling my honey, I feel like every time that John has to go out there, he's looking at Triple H like, come on, man, don't make me go out. And then he comes out and does the, oh, I hate you crowd. Yeah. And I'm like
it's so generic.
Yeah, you can feel the hurt. And I don't.
you know, Triple H was just like, you know, that kid over there sitting wearing your shirt. Pick on that guy. Pick on that kid.
Exactly.
They
You know, it'd be
singled
great,
him out.
John. Can you rip it off of him, please? Yeah, that would be great. And I don't know. I think it's very hard. Like, it was great. We all wanted it, but I don't think he's been playing it up enough. Like, I feel like right now he should have been messing with Cody so much to make us go, oh shit, dude, I can't wait for this match.
Yeah, I
Like,
fully agree with you. Like,
no,
the Rock stuff
I
hasn't
feel
been.
like I have felt that way.
No, Cena could have gotten so much worse on Cody.
So do
Yeah.
I feel
Dude,
like that.
I
hold him
think
back.
I think they were like, oh, if they just let Cena go, he would have destroyed him. So it's like, don't, because it would have really showed how much he would have just destroyed him. It's like, yeah, don't. Cena on the mic is really, really, really good. People forget that.
Yeah,
I need
and it
Cena
hasn't
to
been
do
there.
that kind of speech.
He would have destroyed him though. That's the problem. He would have destroyed him. He can talk off the cuff. That's the problem.
What I really liked was the first one in Belgium, when I felt like it's been a long time since somebody has really cut an effective promo on the crowd. And when the crowd starts chanting and stuff, and he's like, yeah, see, do you see how easy you play along? Like, I think he did a really cool experiment with like going outside the world of wrestling and saying, you guys have to understand you're not really a part of this. We tell you how to cheer, and this is how you do it. And I really love the bit where Cody brought up Vince. It's like, you're only where you're at, but that one guy, he's not even here anymore. I was like, oh, snap. I do think they sit there and go through the beats. I do think they kind of talk to each other beforehand. Like, I'm going to go here. You're going to go here. We're going to go here. Because I do feel like it was almost too clean that John Cena had all these like hit. And then Cody was able to come right back with hit. To the point where I was like, this is like a script that two actors memorize. It's not really like they're going. I feel like John Cena is improvising with the crowd, but he's got a script for Cody. And that's why it feels like he's a lot more devastating at the crowd. And when he makes fun of Cody, he's not necessarily making fun of Cody, is that he's making fun of Cody. Like the crowd, we're just telling the crowd who to like, and it's you because you can't be me. And one thing I really liked, one line I really liked that Cody said, because honestly, I was like, whatever, I'm so bored with this. But every time there's a promo thing, I'm always like, you know what? I kind of like Cody. Like, I kind of get bored with him sometimes, and then he'll cut a promo, and I'm like, but he's really sincere, and he's really working his butt off, and I go, I really do like the guy. And I loved his feud with Seth Rollins, where after his torn pec, and he was doing the matches anyway, I was like, whatever, I like you, you're doing it. I really loved when Cody said, I'm sure it just eats you alive that you're in the WrestleMania main event on your last year against Stardust. And I was like, that's awesome. I thought that was such a good zinger. You could tell that they both workshopped it. You know what I mean? They sat down. And like, oh, let's think of some really good, like some of the things they were saying. I was like, good dig.
But also,
there's some bits in there. There's some good stuff. I do think the bar is really, really high, especially after that heel turn. I'm still.
Yeah, definitely.
Cena's gonna like 1 win and 2 turn face by the end of the year. I felt like, is it a more interesting story to have John Cena not win and have him chase for the rest of the year? Because if he gets the title now, he wins the record, right? Yeah. So why would you end it at WrestleMania when he said his last day would be December 31st, 2025? Like,
make him lose it then.
I'm curious if they're going to pull a Trish Stratus and have him win his last title on the last day.
Wrestlers are supposed to bloody, retire on their backs.
Yeah, well, Trish didn't.
Yeah, well,
but she was.
You were going to say something, Matt?
I lost control. I lost my train of thought. But like, with Cena, I feel like he really is holding a lot back.
Oh,
and
heaps.
With the fact that like they're bringing up Stardust, that's something that Cody never wanted to, like he stated before, he doesn't even want to bring that back up. Mm-hmm. I feel like that is definitely scripted in and
100%
takes away from it. I also feel like Cody is better at chasing the title than holding the title.
I've noticed, like, being the clean cut babyface is really, really hard for any wrestler, and it really shows because the journey to the title to overcome, that's why people are cheering. But usually it's like how often do people love babyface champions? It's
Not
that's what I'm
much.
saying. Like, it's hard to maintain a story unless you've got amazing antagonists, right?
Right. But he's already beaten all of them on
That's
the
what
way.
I'm saying. And that's why it's like, and that's why everyone's like, just turn him heel. And I'm like, you don't have to turn him heel, but he doesn't have to be champion still.
Right.
He could still be a face, an amazing face at that. But that's why it's like when people often turn on the face that's always winning. Look what happened to Cena. Like, Cena's gone through this all the time.
They also were going through it when he was feuding with Kevin Owens. It's like it was that pressure that was getting to like that. That was a story on its own where it's that there was a pressure of holding the title that like you can't even trust his own friends. You know, so like they could have turned him heel there, but like they don't need to turn him heel.
No, I don't think they need to,
because then it's like that whole Cena thing from back in the early like the 2010s where it's like everybody wanted him to turn heel just for the sake of turning heel.
No,
and
there's a right time and place, and look at it now.
Right.
The only thing though is on this heel turn is I feel we're missing the lack of the whole Rock's involvement.
100%.
Because he's the one who called it and did the symbol, and he hasn't been here for it.
For sure.
Like, I feel
the whole point is that he doesn't have to. He's the final boss. So I feel, because that was going to lead to my question, a two-part question. One, who do you think will win? And based on that, where do they go?
Yeah, see, I don't know. Like, I feel like all this time that The Rock should have been there with Cena, or Cena should have been mentioning, well, the final boss wants me to take you out. He wants it. I just found it weird. Like, you called for the whole thing for this to happen, and you're not showing up. So that was another thing. Does he show up at Mania and something happens? Like,
I think this is the same situation as the women's world title, where they were like, I think what they were setting up last year was Cody versus The Rock, because The Rock had pinned Cody last year at WrestleMania weekend, and they were going to bring that back up, and they had a couple of times. And then John Cena's like, 25th anniversary. This is my last year as a performer. I'm going out. And then they're like, crap, we need a match with John, and we need one to be good. And I think
John.
It could have been with Gunther.
And then someone threw it out there. How would you feel about he being heel? And they went, you know what? Let's try it. So everything's started going on the fly. Once John Cena's a heel, there really isn't a need for The Rock to be there. But you're right, because there's sort of like an unfinished business thing. That plays into who I think is going to win, because it's not based on who deserves it or who's like. I think it's more like a continuous storyline. What's the most interesting choice based on a path of, road A, road B, road C, and which one is most interesting? Because you could still do a multiple choice. You could have John Cena win and be a Rock surrogate because The Rock is older and or do you have somebody beat John Cena and then move on to The Rock as the final boss? And do you do that at SummerSlam?
Yeah.
Do you do it at next WrestleMania? But then it's like, how are you going to have the belt on him for another year? But I feel like the easiest story, if I had to guess quickly, I would be like, Cody wins because John Cena has till the end of the year to figure out this belt situation. I also think John Cena could perform a face turn and win it as a face, because the fans, I think, still love him and respect him. And I think where else is Cody going to go but The Rock himself? Because John Cena failed. I could see John Cena having a match with The Rock himself. I could see The Rock having a match with Cody. I can see The Rock having a match with CM Punk, because CM Punk is calling out those bald frauds. So you have a CM Punk John Cena road built in.
And CM Punk can take the title from Cena.
Yeah, and you have that thing when you
gotta give Cena that he needs to get the title in order to get that.
2011 Money in the Bank.
I wonder, do you think John Cena might win Money in the Bank?
No.
I think Cena's going to win this one with The Rock's involvement. And I feel like it's going to be one of those really old school pissed off moments to where if we could throw our cups in the ring, that would happen. Like, I feel it's going to be that, like, what fucking shit did you just pull right now? I can't believe this. And I think it's for the broader story of, like you're saying, Augie, but for the rest of the year. I mean, because they called it, right? They said till the end, December 31st, that's my last day, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like it's going to be one of those, this was bullshit. Like, what just happened? Like,
well, people are also saying that Ric Flair should somehow come out and interfere with the match because Ric Flair would want to keep his record.
I don't see that man on my TV.
Dude, please, he doesn't need to be here.
1,000%.
Yeah, I don't want to really either. Yeah, not with Charlotte not interfering in this one.
We can have a pre-tape. We can have a pre-tape where you shake his hand, and we'll move on from
sure,
there.
Whatever.
That's it. So I think it's going to be Cena in this very upset way, with The Rock moving on this storyline that we kind of, okay. So what's going on from here? And I think it may shake everything up in that sense as far as what is going on.
We also don't know, because this crowd is in Vegas. We don't know what kind of crowd this is going to be. We don't know if this is going to be a pro Cody crowd or if it's going to be a pro Cena crowd. Because like there are times where they walk in there thinking that they're gonna, like look at Hollywood Hogan on WrestleMania 18.
That was great. That was great.
Right? They had to
I did not predict that at all.
Okay.
I was so confused watching that.
You don't know what's gonna happen, and but like that crowd could just boo Cody, right?
They could.
Like there are a lot of people who are feeling like we're even talking about like it's kind of boring. He doesn't wrestle as much as anymore. Like, yeah, he went to SmackDown, but yet we don't see him wrestle anymore. He's always in his suit, right?
And if he's not in his suit, he's in his jog suit.
Yeah, he's in a suit, regardless.
It's so weird, right? He's dressed to the nines, like, ooh, I like that chain,
business suit,
or he has the jacket, like, I'm gonna go run a mile after this promo.
It's funny because like I was so happy, like I could finally watch Raw on Netflix, and I'm like, wait a second, I can't watch. Roman's not going to be on Raw; he's on SmackDown.
Correct.
And then Cody is a SmackDown wrestler now because he has the title and he holds it over there on SmackDown. So like, really, like, who am I gonna? My favorites are like Seth and CM Punk, but CM Punk was injured at the time for most of the time when he was,
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So who do you think, Matt? Who do you think?
I don't know who's gonna win this one.
You think it's gonna be debated on the crowd?
It's gonna. I think it. My feeling is Cena, just to progress the story for like, because Cody's story's over. Like he finished his story last year.
Yeah.
Now it's keeping the title, right? And usually it's the second title run that defines if the person is a good title holder,
a good champion or not.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and this is his first title run, so he can lose the belt and then regain it back later on.
That's the thing. He could afford to lose it and then regain it.
Yeah.
Afterwards, that's not a problem for him. This is Cena's last run,
right? And like Cena can win the title, get the, get what is it, 17 time champion?
17. Yeah.
He could either lose it to any of these guys on the
and it doesn't matter.
Right.
That's the beauty about Cena's role at this point. If he wins it, he'll finally get the actual run, the title run. But a heel champion Cena, we've never gotten ever. So this could be like, and we only have a limited time for that.
Imagine Cena wins and he just
now.
climbs the rope and just flips off the crowd, holding the belt, just the whole time. He's just.
That's too straightforward. He's way.
I think the fans would love that in Vegas.
They would. In Vegas, they would eat it up.
That's so true. Yeah.
Is this night 1 or night 2?
Night 2. Punk is night 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because then, like, once Cena wins, any of the guys from night 1 can go, nah, we're not gonna let this happen. Blah blah. He's a new storyline already. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cody can be like, he's still in the fight too. He's like, I lost, but he's still a face. So it's like, I'm gonna defeat. Like he beat me, so I'm gonna have to get it back. And that's his run for his second title.
I mean,
if Cena loses, what do you do then with Cena?
And it's an organic way to set up Punk.
Exactly. Yeah, he's eventual, like, if he's going to be the champion eventually, then this is the way to get there.
All right, so we all think Cena to progress the storyline.
I think so.
Also, just because, why not? At this point, sure.
Yeah.
Cena's he'll be a great heel champ. That's cool. We've never had a Cena heel champ before.
I hope he comes out in black jorts I think that should.
I love the fact that he hasn't changed his thing. That's one of my favorite parts of this.
Because everybody wants him to change.
Exactly.
Thing.
He's like, nah,
Yes.
dude, I'm still
not
getting it. This is it. Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
getting it. I'm like, that's so bad.
The only thing I don't like that he has changed is he doesn't talk to his homie, the cameraman.
Stu?
Yeah, Stu. Yeah, he hasn't. Ever since the turn, he hasn't called him out. He just looks at him and then he holds the towel.
How about next time he just flips him off? It's like, oh no.
Okay, so yeah, okay, that would be better. Then you're right, Stu. Fuck you, Stu. What's going on?
This one's for you.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I think Cena is going to win, as you know, a massive Cena mark as I am since 2011.
Even with him going bad, you like it? The heel
turn? I think the best moment was just the heel turn because it was unexpected. But I feel like his promos has just been very generic towards the crowd.
His promos have been great, dude.
I feel like his best promo has been the back and forth with Cody on the previous week.
I'm against you on that, mate.
Yeah, because
his promo work against the crowd is my favorite part.
I think it's been great, and someone to go off in the crowd has been spectacular.
That's what I'm saying. It's phenomenal.
Because as Ernie said, it feels like he's pretending to be a bad guy instead of just being a bad guy.
If we forget, he's an actor. I don't think he's pretending. I don't know. It feels like with what he's saying anyway, it's like, yeah, you can see his point of view on why he's turned.
But like his point of view is like the people like abusing him or not cheering him. But like Elimination Chamber, everyone was loving him. Everyone loved that he's back. He's getting.
Yeah, but he's thinking. Count. Think about all the years he's been a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that promo was about. It's like, okay, when he's doing good, you cheer, but then like on a drop of a dime, they'll boo. It's like he's done nothing different, so why are you booing all of a sudden? So it's not just he was getting cheered this one show. It's like, yeah, but all the other times where he's not, it's like they're so fickle. That's why he's bringing that point and basically making them face that, and I think that's great.
Yeah,
I agree with Chamba.
I think that's great. He's putting the mirrors against him. It's like, look, this is what you are, the crowd.
No, but I get what you're saying though, because Cena to me, I'm like, as like an actor or someone being like, oh, this guy is good or terrible. For some reason, he's really cartoonish. Like when he, like, you know how Hogan is like on the turnbuckle, he's waiting for a tag. Hogan would be like, like Cena does that too. And there's something
it's theater.
Yeah, like he's playing it like,
but he's playing
it
too much.
Theater almost.
Yeah.
So there
like,
isn't something.
I think he's forgetting that the camera's picking up so much these days. But then I think he's playing for the audience there too.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So you have to be bigger.
No. You're 100% right. When you're in live theater, you have to play for the person in the back.
You have to.
When you're on TV, it's all got to be in your face. It's all facials.
And that's why it's like, how do you get the subtleties across? No one's going to pick it up live. Only the person that's watching it on the HD 4K, right? It's like, so you got to find that odd balance sometimes.
No, yeah, you're right. And it's a really hard thing to do. I think some superstars have done it really well. I actually think Triple H is very good at doing that, at keeping it organic for two kinds of crowds simultaneously. John Cena, I feel like, gets a little cartoon with it.
Sure.
When he turned heel, his face, he was mugging so hard, but at the same time, it was such a flip from
exactly
that it was really effective. In fact, I got that. I think I said this to you guys before, but I actually got it spoiled for me. I was at work and someone said, so what's John Cena's next move after his heel turn? And I was like, oh, well, there's the ending. And I was just waiting for it. And the way they did the camera work with The Rock going like this, I was like, I don't care if that got spoiled. That was so good. I was like, I had chills. And I actually liked John Cena's over-the-top expression because it was a complete 180 of the goofy superhero, Super Cena, that it was effective. I do wish there was a little more, I guess, like organic hurt or almost a smugness to his promos. I do feel like you're saying, he's not a bad guy. He's acting like he's playing one. But like what Chamba's saying, it's a limitation of being in front of a live audience and a camera at the same time, which is always a challenge for anybody. That's how I feel. But I do think John Cena, it was weird. I was actually coming in here to tell you guys that I think Cody will win. But when you actually like really think about it, like not only who wins, but where do you go? And Machu saying that Cody's had his WrestleMania. That's right. He's already had the biggest moment of his career. Like that, this isn't going to top that. John Cena winning, and to Chamba's point, not just winning, but having a run, like a real run, not just holding the title, but like, what if he even like loses it and like maybe even gets it one more time? Like there's so many things you.
There's so many possibilities. Like as a heel Cena as well. That's why I'm like, there's more interest. I feel like it's more interesting that way. And again, like you'll still have Cody there because he's still going to be fighting to get that back.
And
so he'll still have a story.
And he'll be wrestling more often.
Exactly. And that's a match he wants. So it's like,
and more opponents you haven't seen. You haven't seen like Cena versus Punk again, him versus Rollins, him versus Reigns, you know what I mean? Like there's more variety in opponents for the rest of the year than people Cody's already faced.
And that's what like Jay winning the Rumble kind of threw a whole wrench, because if you had Cena go after Gunther, and then you could have had Rock and Cody, because then like if you remember the Raw after Mania last year where Rock said to Cody, "You broke my heart," and he handed him something. Remember, like that has never been brought up since. Like,
right?
Like what?
I mean, that's always something that they can bring it back. The whole thing about like Cena and Gunther, as cool as that could be as well, I don't know if it'd have this bigger storyline against Cena versus Rock.
Yeah, that's true.
Cena versus
that's
Cody.
The main thing about that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Cena versus Cody feels way bigger as far as like story wise as Cena versus Gunther.
I also want to see how they build up Roman versus Rock, because that was supposed to be something.
That needs to be something.
That could still be done. There's there's so many hints that have been done. Like when they all did.
You didn't got to rush it though. Do you know what I mean? There's so much time. It does hurt that like Rock's schedule is so barely there. Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you make a story when he doesn't even show up? You just got to mention his name.
Well, he could
he's still involved, right?
He could still send in the videos like he was doing when he was going.
I think he should. I think that should be the case as well. It's just
that's what I'm saying. We're missing Rock.
Man.
Yeah, we're missing Rock and some type of engagement.
I think Cena should have done those.
I think those could have been a thing.
Yeah, and it could have been like it could have played more to his character, because he could have done like obviously like from Fett from like his movies, or like that would have been like amazing.
But I think Cena being himself, not a character, I think wanted to see those events that last time.
For sure.
Because, the last time is now, that kind of thing. Like, I think it means more to him on a personal level to see the fans one-on-one.
To be there.
But I also feel like the triple threat has been promoted more between the two shows than Cena versus Cody. I felt like they missed a week.
Yeah, 100%.
We're missing something there. And, the Rock's involvement. So we'll have to see what happens and how it turns out. But regardless, I think it's going to be a great show. We have 1 week of wrestling left to the big buildup of WrestleMania. I thank you guys so much for being here tonight and the Federation. And I think we should definitely do this again.
Yeah.
Come in. It was a lot of fun.
Post-Mania.
Yeah. And just go through and think what we thought of the show real quick. And then maybe from time to time we can hop in and do this what's going on in our best soap opera ever played out on TV. Sure. And you guys are welcome anytime. Again, thank you, Federation, to everybody who was commenting. Sorry at the end, it got a little crazy. Again, I had to step away a few times. Still not feeling too well and got some bad news tonight, but that's another time. But I love you guys. Thank you very much for everybody for being here tonight with us. And it was. We'll see what happens. I can't wait to come back and do this again and talk about it. The replay crew, give us your predictions and your thoughts too. Maybe we missed something, and make sure and be here for the next one. Machu, where can we find you?
You can find me on Machu Toy on Instagram and on YouTube, and on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Between Two Sentinels with J-Shot. And also I'm on Chat Migos on Tuesday nights on the Toy Migos channel. And Thursdays, the first Thursday of every month, I'm on the Enablers with Toying Around.
Go check out the replay. They had a Robo on tonight. Go check that out. Augie?
I'm here talking wrestling, or I am every Thursday night. I'm at Toy Migos. They're not dolls. And that is not me at Chat Migos. That is my brother. But you can see me every Thursday night and probably somewhere around LA. And if you ever want to chat wrestling, I'm all about it. I love wrestling. So We could do this every PLE. That'd be fun.
I'm so happy you made it. We do have to make this a thing now and go on from here. And
Katie doesn't know what he's missing. Literally,
yeah, I'm telling you, it's one of the greatest stories ever. The Wrestling Hound. Thank you so much for being here tonight, sir. It was a great time with you. Where can people keep up with you at?
Well, you can find me on East Coast Figs down below on Instagram and YouTube, where I just have fun with my toys. I've been a wrestling fan since I was 10 years old. Still watching it. Never took a break. Been watching it nonstop. So I love this shit. It's literally the best thing ever. And I love all companies like WWE, AEW, New Japan. I love everything. And the fact that it's blowing up right now, I love it. I'm so happy. I'm overstuffed with so much wrestling. I love it. After the show's done, I'm probably gonna go and finish AEW Dynamite because I paused it to come on here. Yeah. So,
no, thank you for pulling away from all your wrestling to come do this with us tonight. I greatly appreciate it. It looks like we lost Chamba, but you can find him tomorrow night on They're Not Dolls. Also Tuesdays with Chat Migos Assemble, all found on Toy Migos YouTube channel. Check out all his page and work. You can find his stuff on Amazon and other places right now. Don't know if he has any shows coming up, but you can always connect with him on the Toy Migos Discord, where he's always in there giving his knowledge of toys and so much more. Thank you, Chamba, for being here tonight. I am the Fallen Fett, every Wednesday night here at 6 p.m. with the Fallen Fett Chronicles. And I think he's back, maybe?
Hey, let's go.
Yeah. And I said where you're at, but go ahead, Chamba. Thank you so much for being here tonight, sir.
Yeah, of course. This was fun. This was a fun discussion. At the Chamba on Instagram, Twitter, Chamiga Symbol, Tuesday, They're Not Dolls, Thursday.
There it is. And yes, Wednesday, 6 p.m. here with the Fallen Fett Chronicles. Yoko, Dario, and Tommy, myself, go check out last week's where we had trivia going on every first of the month. Keep up with all the Fett work. Hopefully soon the return of Boba Squadron. They are all out right now in Japan. That's pretty cool. And they're there for Star Wars Celebration and much, much more. Totally jealous. I hope everybody has a great and amazing time. I can't wait to see all the content from that. More Star Wars news, the Sarlacc Digest, which is on right now. Sorry, guys, I ran over. Couldn't make it over there. I will check out the replay. But every week, go over there to Sarlacc Digest or get them on Facebook. And they also have a Discord as well, too, for 24/7 Star Wars talk. And They're Not Dolls tomorrow night with the Toy Migos. Join us over there. Going to be a great show tomorrow. Thank you guys very much. And we might have more guests on the next one. So I hope you guys can come back and make it. And we'll see how this goes. And, let me remove this. I didn't remove this at all. There we go. Sorry. Give me a big smile, everybody, so I can make a post about it. Throw the ones. 1, 2, 3. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much. I'm trying to find it. Sorry. Okay.
See ya.
Bye.
Peace.